Okay, so all right, Big G's in the house. Having issues with my streaming. My streaming's having issues. Earl, what's happening? Mike Kinhart. Okay, Eugene, Patricia, how you doing? Carl. Okay, let's get out of there. Let's see if we're working properly. Luigi Rizzo, what's happening? Ernie, what's going on? Dean, Hubert, Michael Keiko, is that right? Lennox, Chrissy, Hollywood Norwood, hello. Hello to you. Uh-oh. Having issues with my internet. Kevin, what's happening? Nanya, Motor City Car, what's happening? Meyer, Moto, what's happening? Astros, Pizza Joe, crazy day. I wouldn't know. Believe it or not, I didn't even look at the market today. Didn't even look. Mike, testing X1X. Okay. Maize and Blue. Let's see what's happening. Edward Dad. Oh, Leeward Dad. Jerlo, what's happening? What's going on here? What's going on? Trying to get my restream working. H over power or hover power. That could be it. I don't know. Hover power. There we go. Jerlo, Victor, what's going on? We're just getting ready to set up. I'm having issues. An error occurred. Okay, so while that's loading, should we sit on the sidelines till this tariff issue calms down? Jerlo, how are you doing today? Now, I'm not paying too much to that stuff. Totally honest with you, I have no idea what happened today. I jumped in, made all my trades this morning. I turned off the computer around 10 o'clock. I got no clue what happened. None whatsoever. Well, having issues getting online. CDC, no one cares. Basically, no, we shouldn't care because most of the stocks we look at have been in business for long enough that they've seen this stuff. Ask me if I care. That's a good one. Melatonin, what's happening? All right. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be streaming tonight because we're having issues. Internet access. Whoops. My Spectrum working fine. At least looks like it's working fine. If I refresh, what's going to happen if I refresh? Let's refresh. What the hell? I'm going to refresh my Wi-Fi, see if it works. Who knows? It might be a short evening. Tristan, what's happening? No. John Werner, how are you doing today? Luigi, my goal is to be as carefree as James. Love it. Okay, it says Wi-Fi is a strong signal. Okay, let's sign into my account. Still not working. Well, so much for that. Lisa M, good evening, and how are you today? Provost, oh wait a minute. Pronovost, Frenchie. Okay, Tony from Canada, what's happening? Ziopangzi? Dolan Clifford, what's happening? All right, doesn't look like we're going to be streaming tonight. So you're just going to have to deal with me without streaming. Lead Sponge, what's going on? if I'm not streaming with the computer, I might as well, no, because if I turn the computer off, I won't have the, okay. Lead Sponge, greetings from Los Angeles. Cool beans. You must know Hollywood. He's here every time too. Today I lost a bit of weight. Okay. Not quite sure in the context which that is, but let's hear it. All right. Apparently we're not going to be streaming. Imagine that. And no Yahoo Finance tonight either. Well, oh, Melodic Angie, Flash, what's happening? All right, so let's get started. We're going to be out without a few things. No streaming tonight. I want to take classes with you, sir. Hey, cool beans. Just drop me a DM with your phone number. I'll give you a buzz. We'll chat. See if it's right for you. Caesar, what's happening? ¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Antoine, hello, Mr. James from Orlando, Florida. Antoine, I didn't know you were in Orlando. STLA, Big Brain, how are you doing tonight? Is that what I'm looking at? Hey, Mickey D's is up. Making money, cash flow. That's what I'm looking for. Skip. All right, Skip, you're going to need to explain that a little bit better. Trump has y'all on limits. No idea what that means. Seriously, no idea. Lost 33,000 today. Wow, not bad. Hope you're well. Big Brain, I'm doing wonderful. Now, Bill Fish, I'm kind of curious. Why would you take a loss? Yeah, baby's in the house. Yeah, baby. So, Bill Fish, curious. Why would you take a loss? I mean, yeah, some of my stocks went down, but I didn't sell anything at a loss. So I didn't lose anything. It's all on paper at the moment. So that doesn't really mean anything. It's not a loss until you agree to take it. And if you never agree to take it, well, you don't really lose. And what are you looking for anyway? Are you looking for the stock itself, or are you looking for the cash flow in which the stock brings? All papers. Cool beans. CCB, what's happening? All on paper. Yeah, so you didn't lose anything. Okay? Now, did you write covered calls against these positions that you have? Nope. No losses, just premiums. Flash, I'm with you, brother. I had a huge premium this month. I was looking at the numbers like, holy cow, that was awesome. No streaming, just kidding with you, James. Things are shaking pretty good worldwide. Yeah, I know. Everywhere. All the people, all the peasants are getting together and say, hey, we had a knife for this shit. I mean, think about it. It's happening everywhere. Melodic Angie, Gen X is 65 to 90. Oh, my goodness. Are you trying to say that I'm a boomer? Because I was in 64. Trust me. I drank out of a hose. My parents left me alone. Didn't know where I was. Yeah, I fit right in to all the, what do you call that? All the attributes that make up a Gen Xer. La, 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 la. I've learned to hold on to all the stocks, even the ones that I'm in the negative. All right, cool beans. You ever try gooning? I have no idea what gooning means. A little disturbing because when people ask me weird stuff goes through my head, and I best not blurt out what comes into my head because that's sick. Some of my stocks do not have options. Bummer. Yep, I was a feral boy. Okay, I'd wake up in the morning, wouldn't even eat breakfast. I'd get dressed as soon as that sun was up, and I was out the door, and I didn't come home until it was dark. My mother had no clue where I was. Me too. A lot of 2% premiums. Yeah, Flash, the numbers I was getting this week, last week, and the week before were just freaking crazy. Now, granted, all these premiums that came in, yeah, it looks great on paper on one side, but on the other side, all the stocks went down. But I had enough premiums come in to offset the stocks dropping. So I didn't have any, what do you call those damn things? I had no margin calls at all. Everything went smooth, swimmingly, like that, swimmingly. Yeah, everything went very nice. It says I'm streaming, but it says I'm not logged in, which is kind of weird. Oh, here's an idea. Let's go and see if we're actually streaming. That's an idea. Here. You guys can't see what I'm doing, so weird. Just kind of hang and chill for a minute. I'll get this damn thing sooner or later. Right there. Okay, now let's go. There it is right there, the YouTube channel for you guys interested in what's going on here. YouTube channel, here we go. Wow, everything is just slow to log in today. Yep, almost time for a new computer. This is not good. And they're both working. Outstanding. Let's keep going. Alrighty then. Well, it says that we're streaming and that works for me. What is this one? What's this? It says that we're streaming and that works for me. What is this one? That works. What's this? It says that we're streaming and that works for me. Yep, that works. All right, so it's working. Great. I don't need to do anything else. Mickey D's right over here. There we go. Is it there? Yep, there it is. All righty. We are ready to get going. Whew, how can I see out of these damn things? All righty. So we got Facebook up and running. Nobody there yet. A couple people on Instagram. All right. TikTok, whole bunch of you there. YouTube, all showing up. I did examples of covered calls with Tesla. The premium was $16.75. Any dividend stocks with premiums that high? Yes, there are. Harshal. Hello, I'm Indian. Namaste. How about Hess? Ooh. Hugh wants to look at Hess. Okay. Mugged by a potato. Cool beans. Grand Wizard. Weird. Grand Wizard. Luigi, Dell took a big hit today. Is now good time to get in and sell covered calls. I don't currently own it. Hold on, Luigi. We will take a look at Dell in a little bit. Rowan, good evening. Zeke Perez. Cool. Good evening, Disgruntled Cook. How are you doing today? Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at what we're doing. First, let's get some intros out of the way. My name is James. Good evening. This is Dividend Stock Talk, where I invest in dividend stocks. Full weekly cash flow. My main goal is a simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose, 1% per week strategy that I created for my 9-year-old little girl. So let's get the ball rolling and show you the little princess so you can say, what the hey? Right there. YouTube, back to YouTube again. Weren't we just there a couple of seconds ago? I think we were. YouTube is taking a little bit to sign up. All right, there we go. Okay, we got 2 lives running. Videos, that works. The oldest videos. Now, remember, when I say I created this for my 9-year-old daughter.
Hi, I'm JC, and as you being part of my internet website called Thingy, which my dad doesn't like me calling it that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists.
All right, so there's the princess.
And every month you'll be getting 4.
And here's me.
21 days in the month of March. What does that mean? That means every single day you can buy a different stock. Every single day there's a different company paying out dividends.
That part always makes me laugh.
I think just
right,
one
let's get out of here.
Just one. January, February.
Let's get out of there. Don't need to see that. Anyway, back in 2008 when my daughter was 9, okay, she said, Dad, what are you doing? Can you teach me? All right, so most adults don't know anything about the stock market, so how am I supposed to teach a 9-year-old? Okay, it has to be simple. It has to be safe, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose. That's the 5 criteria. 5 criteria. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. That being said, I came up with 5 rules. Okay? 5 rules. Nupster, thank you for that. We're going to go over the numbers in a little bit and see how it affects the positions that I'm actually carrying. So just sit tight. We'll get there. I'll address that in a minute. I have no idea what happened in the market, so I'll be just as amazed as some of you. Some of you might know even more than I do about today. Because seriously, I didn't do anything today. Well, I did my morning trading group. Fine. We looked at some trades. We saw what they opened up at. We saw how they opened. That was it. I was on for an hour this morning. After that, I have no clue. Okay. Paul, no. Not much going on to crash this week, but there's always next week. Absolutely. Will, good evening. King, what's happening? S&P dumped 5%. Okay. Cash is king. Ask Buffett. Better yet, look at Berkshire's balance sheet. Cool. STLA. Big brain. Hold on a second. When you get a chance, we'll take a look at it. All right. Harshal, 1010 gadgets. Cool beans. All right. So, I told you, 9 years old, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose. Fine. Great. That's the 5 criteria. Okay. What are the rules? Well, specifically for my 9-year-old daughter, rule number 1. This is one of my favorites. Never buy anything that you don't understand and you don't want to hold on to. If you don't understand it and you don't want to hold on to it to the day you die, don't buy it. It's actually that simple. Number 2, never sell at a loss. Kind of defeats the purpose of investing in the first place. Number 3, this is one a lot of people have a hard time with, and it boggles my mind that people have a hard time with rule number 3. Make sure the company is consistently profitable. Rule number 4, weekly options. Now, the reason I say weekly options is you only have 2 ways of making money consistently on a weekly basis. 1 is with weekly stock options, and 2, sitting in front of your computer looking for chart setups, buying and selling, day trading, basically. Yeah, no thank you. King, oh, I use seafood, and I'm going to hold because we are going lower, much lower. Okay, King, I'll take your word for it. I decided to buy some Ford stock today. I bought it at $9.55 a share, bought 100 shares. Step 1 done. Yay, Lisa. All right, way to go, Lisa. I'm curious, what were the option that you sold against it? Big dreams, crypto, no. No crypto here at all. Sorry. Paul, are you often in a situation where you have to pay to roll it over as it gets close to the strike price? Now, Paul, I'm not going to lie to you, once or twice in the last 2 or 3 years, I had to pay to roll something forward. But for the most part, I just roll it forward and far enough where I don't have to take any money out of my pocket. How many of your Discord members got margin calls today? Brian, to be 100% honest with you, I will not know that until tomorrow morning. Because when I say I turned my computer off at 10 a.m. this morning, I mean I turned my computer off at 10 a.m. this morning. And I just turned it back on about 15, 20 minutes, now about 30 minutes ago to sign back on with you guys. Okay, so I have no clue what happened from 10 a.m. this morning when I signed out until closing bell. So I'm totally clueless. So it'll be kind of a surprise to me too. All right, you like that, Lisa? Way to go. All right, so let's do this. Oh, Paul, I have a daughter, 26, and a son, 24, using your system in their Roth. They will be able to retire in their 40s. You're a rock star even in downturns. Paul, like I said, the numbers I've been getting lately, even as the stock market's going down, I'm getting 2, 3, 4% every week. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Stock market's dropping and I'm making more money. It's weird, but I'm okay with it. You did not do the option yet, Lisa. That's okay. Go at your own pace. Can you explain the basic strategy? Totus. Sure. Okay, you ready? Now, most people have been here for a while, so Totus, this is specifically for you. What I'm looking to do specifically is simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose, 1% per week trading strategy that I created specifically for my 9-year-old daughter. Rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. Rule 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Rule 4, weekly options only. And Rule 5, make sure the numbers work. We're actually going to do a few trades as the night progresses so you can see how it's done. Okay? Now, what we're looking to do is looking for a company that's consistently profitable, more specifically, the dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders, Warren Buffett's list, and any other stock that we can see a simple, safe, predictable pattern that they are consistently profitable. Okay? Okay, definitely want to see how you execute the option strategy. Okay, we're going to get to that. I'm actually going to do a few trades. So just sit tight, take notes, ask questions, and let's see how we can do. Now, I'm going to make you a promise. I'm not going to try to sell anything. So halfway through the night, I'm not going to hit you with a, what do you call it? A sales pitch. No sales pitches at all. Not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to create a video documentary for my kids and my grandkids, and you just so happen to be part of it. Okay? So look at it this way. You guys are part of my little sick and twisted futuristic video that I'm going to create in about 15 years. So in the next 15 years, as I do these each and every single day, I'm going to go through little clips here and there. Almost every day, I'm going to take a little bit of clip off of each and every day over the next 5 or 10 years, and then create a video spanning out over the whole 20 years. So I'm kind of curious how it turns out. Granted, it's a long-term project, and you guys kind of like volunteer guinea pigs. Just sharing what's going on. All right. No infomercial. No, sorry, Hugh. Got no infomercial for you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. But wait, if you order now, you get 2 for the price of 1. Come on down. No, nope, none of that stuff. All right, so let's go look. Lisa said for her very first dividend trade, no, wait a minute, for her very first option trade with me, because we had a nice conversation today. I always tell people, if you want to talk to me, I love talking to people. I love sharing information. Really, I do. And the only way you are going to know that is by putting your name, but your number, and I will call you. Seriously, I'll call, we'll have a chat, and I won't try to sell you anything. You can ask a question in any one of the chats. Say, does he try to sell you something when he calls? And you can watch the answers that you come up with. I never, ever, ever try to sell anyone anything. We're all big people. We know how this works. I've written 14 books. Yeah, 14 books. I got 900 videos. I got, if you name it, I probably have it. But I'm not trying to sell you. All right, so let's keep going what we're doing. Lisa did her first trade today, covered call, but she only bought the stock. She hasn't sold the option yet. Okay, Pradeep, yeah, I'll give you a buzz, but 75 Corvette. Yeah, we had a nice conversation. No, I was going to say, don't put your number on the screen. On the top left-hand corner, you'll see my picture up there. You tap on that, and there'll be a little envelope where you can send me a personal phone number rather than here for everyone to see it. Okay, so that being said, Lisa did her first one today. She bought Ford at, I think she said, let's open it up. Take a look at Ford. All right, here we go. All righty. Now, before we do anything else, let's go through the whole, what do you call it? Steve, oh, sorry. I see you already looked up at AAAP. Thanks. No, we haven't looked it up yet. We haven't looked at everything, but we will take a look at it in a little bit. All right, Hugh, don't put it here on the screen, okay? Because then I have to stop what I'm doing and write it down. Send me an email or send me a text, okay? You should be able to, in the bio, okay, each one of these profiles, I'm running on 7 different channels. So each channel has a about the author. That would be me. So in there, you just put your number, I'll give you a buzz, okay? World you want to live in, girl. Pradeep, be careful. Yeah, okay. So Pradeep, if someone sends you a text message or a voicemail or something like that, yeah, it ain't me, okay? I actually physically call and chat with people. Okay, so Hugh, you do the same thing. All right, let's look at forward. Let's look at the numbers. Let's see if I can help Lisa out with what you're doing. All right, that being said, now I can't tell you what to do. Okay, now you said you bought forward at 9.55. All right, well, let's take a look. High, low, where was it? I got to change that just a little bit so I can get a better view of that. Whoops. Wrong button. Shrink it down a little bit. Move it back over. There we go. I wanted to see all of it. All right, there we go. All right. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, big drop, sideways, down, up. Now she's going down again. Okay, fine. It's Ford. They've been around for over 100 years. I really don't see the risk there. Okay, company's been around for a very long time. And I don't think it's going anywhere. So let's take a look. All right. That being said, Jeremy. S&P is bleeding now, my friend. Okay. Can you put the camera directly in front of the screen? It would make it easier to see. Well, here's the thing, okay? You're on the phone, okay, the iPhone. So you're looking at the screen through the iPhone with me standing in front of it. Do yourself a favor, go into the other room if you're at home, turn on your big screen TV, get comfy on the couch, pull up YouTube on your TV, and you'll see just the screen without me anywhere there, okay? Just the screen on your big screen TV. That way you'll be able to see these small numbers. That's the specific reason why I broadcast just the screen alone on YouTube. So you can actually watch and see all the numbers. That might make a little bit more sense. On your phone or your iPad or whatever, your mobile device, you're probably not going to see all the numbers. Okay, but what I'm doing, I'm just reading the numbers off the charts. That's it. So we're going to help out Lisa here with hers. It's currently at 9.54 at the moment. This is the 1 year chart. That's what I like to start with. I'm looking for 5 things. Okay, the high of the year, the low of the year. Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? And what is it doing? Down, up, down, sideways, down, up, down. Okay, that's simple, right? What do the numbers look like? Remember rule number 5, make sure the numbers work. What am I buying it for? 9.55. Well, the 9.35 is going for 22. Let's move this over so we can see it a little bit better. $9.35 is going for 22, but if you, I don't want that one. That one expires tomorrow. We don't want that. Ain't gonna be worth nothing. All right, here we go. 11 April 25. That means all these options here will expire at 4 p.m. next Friday. That's what 11 April means. Now, depending on how that works for you next week, well, there's always the opportunity to roll it forward into the week of the 17th, which is 2 weeks away. If that don't work, rule it out 3 weeks, the week of the 25th of April. We have opportunities every single week to make a return. Well, that's what we're doing, okay? Lisa got forward at 9.55. Right now, she's at 9.59. The 9.50s are going for 29 cents per share. Now, she said she got 100 shares. Okay, so what is the possibilities here? All right, number one, if she sells it at the 9.50 right here, she's going to lose 5 cents. All right, so that's right off the top. You'll lose 5 cents. Great. Well, what is she bringing in? Well, she's bringing in 29 cents per share. Now, it may not sound like a lot to you, but let me continue going through the math to see if it makes sense. Because what we're looking for is to create cash flow using dividend stocks and stock options. So a weekly cash flow of 1% comes to over 50% per year. So whatever you're starting out with, you're starting out with 20 grand, 50% is 10,000 bucks per year. If you're starting out with 50 grand, 50% is 25,000. If you're starting with 100 grand, 50% is 50,000. Whatever you're starting out with, 1% every single week for the whole year comes to over 50%. You compound it, that means interest on top of interest on top of interest, 52 times, because it's 52 weeks in the year, okay? That can compound annually at 1% a week to right around 74% per year. Well, I like that number. Uh-oh, I got a low battery over here. What the hey? Now, how the hell can I have a low battery? All right, let's unplug this one, unplug that one, slide this over to here. We can't have YouTube going out on us. And there we go. All right, so the battery's charging. All right, sorry about that. What was I saying? Don't get old, you forget stuff. It's weird. Okay, so every single week, this is why I like weeklies. Now there's two different kinds of options. Call option, put options. But after that, there are weekly options and monthly options. A monthly option, okay, you're slipping, Jimmy. Okay, 74%. Yep, 1% per week, compounded 52 times. Okay, because it's 52 weeks in a year, 74%. Thanks for that. What's the catch? How can the trade go wrong? Well, see, there's a good question. Now, the trade in and of itself is simple and easy. The way it goes wrong, and it sounds really childish, it really does. Okay, most people first starting out lose money. You ready for this? By hitting the wrong button. Isn't that silly? I mean, think about it. You're probably thinking to yourself, I ain't gonna hit the wrong button. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I've been trading for over 20 years. This year, okay, a couple of weeks ago, I hit the wrong button. Seriously, I did. I lost $2,500 because I hit the wrong stupid freaking button. If I can do it, you can do it. Don't think you're that much smarter than me. Okay, it happens to everyone. Where are you getting compound interest? Laurie, how are you today? Laurie, hold tight. I will answer that question. Thought you just traded on Mondays for a full week. Well, most of my trading is on Monday because I sell call options. I don't buy options, I sell them because 80% of all options expire worthless. So why would I buy them if 80% expire worthless? Yeah, no thank you. I want to sell options because 80% of them expire worthless. So if I sell an option for 9 cents a share, was that $9 or $90, something like that, whatever it is. If I sell it and Friday at 4 o'clock, I'm going to have to buy it back, and usually I buy it back for pennies. Sometimes they expire worthless. I don't have to buy them back at all. So it's like selling something and never having to deliver it. That's the beauty of selling call options. All right, so left guard. Most of my trading is on Monday, most of it. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I take a look at my account just to see what's going on and to see if there's an opportunity. Because opportunities pop up every day. Yes, most of my trading is on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, but sometimes Wednesday and Thursday, something can drop enough or increase enough where I can either roll it forward or roll it backwards and make a little bit more money. It's always about the numbers, okay? Number one, I got a couple of criteria. First criteria is consistency of profitability. That's number one. Number two, safety. I'm 61 years old. I'm retired. If I screw up, I have to go back to work. Yeah, no thank you. I mean, think about it. If you have enough money coming in every single week from your investments, whatever your investment is, it could be this, it could be something else, whatever it is, if you have enough money coming in on a monthly basis or a weekly basis where you don't have to work, well, I do work, it's about 10 or 15 minutes a day because it doesn't take me that long to see what I'm doing. All right. That way, I don't have to go back to work. But if I screw it up, yeah, I'll have to go back to work. But, I really don't want to. All right, so let's keep on going. What do we have over here? Matt, how are you doing today? All right, givers, takers. Jeremy, can you put the... I already did that one. Hey, how are you doing today? Wonderful. I want to invest in the market for a living. Matt, it's not that difficult. All right, so that being said, let's take a look at the numbers for Ford. Now, remember, Lisa bought Ford this morning at 9.55. Okay, currently 9.54. So the 9.50s are going for 29 cents. I'm going to lose. Oh, wait a minute. Lisa's going to lose 5 cents because remember, she bought it at 9.55. And if she sells it at 9.50, she's going to bring in 29 cents. Now, you take the 5 cents off of that, so she's only walking away with 24 cents. But, hold that thought. Free speech. On a weekly option on Thursday, the option has so little value that I am tempted to close and open a new position for next week. Okay, so free speech, what we're going to do in that instance, we're going to roll it forward. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Don't let me forget it, okay? All right. So she bought at 9.55, going to sell the 9.50s, going to lose 5 cents. All right, so she's walking away with 24. Now, 24 doesn't sound like a lot, but let's do a little math. Let's break out the calculator to find out exactly what that is, okay? Okay, so 29 cents, take away 5, so she's going to walk away with 24 cents. Now, 24 cents is not a lot, but remember, she paid $9.55 for the stock. So we divide it by $9.55 that she paid for the stock, and she's walking away with 2.5% for 1 week. Okay, now, do you understand what 2.5% every single week comes to? Okay, it's over, I'd say, 158%. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, Totus, hold on a second. Multiply this by 52. 130. All right, I was close. I was doing it in my head. I'm not a math genius, but, I've been doing it a while. So, Totus, here you go. Let me explain to you, Totus, what the risk is. Besides the fact of the possibility of hitting the wrong button and doing something stupid, which, by the way, it is going to happen to each and every one of you. It happens to everybody. So don't think you're that special that it's not going to happen. When it does happen, the most important thing to remember, as soon as you hit that wrong button and realize you hit that wrong button, you better get on the phone and call your broker and say, can you fix it? I made a mistake. Here's the catch. You have to do it within 2 minutes. Okay, the 2 minutes, because they log every phone call. So if they see the time you made the trade and you called in and you're in the queue a minute or two from the time you made that trade, yeah, they will reverse it for you if you're quick enough. Now, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, no, they ain't going to do it. So you have to do it right away, immediately. Okay, so what is he's going to say? Free speech and more. On a weekly option on Thursday, the option... yeah, you're talking about rolling it forward. Okay, we're going to take a look at that. Hold that. Dividend stocks only make sense for some, not all. Random product pushing is insane. Okay, BLKPP. I'm not pushing any products, okay? Not saying anything. I'm just saying that Ford Motor Company has been around for over 100 years, okay? And that's not pushing a product, that's just giving you information, okay? As far as I know, giving information is free, okay? And it is. Ford has been around for over 100 years. All right, so there's the thing. If Lisa does the 950, she'll collect this or something close to it, because first thing in the morning, all these numbers will change, but the mathematical equation never changes. What am I buying it for? What's the closest strike price? What am I selling that for? And what kind of rate of return is that? So you take what you receive and you divide it by what you paid, and that's your rate of return. So here's the catch, okay? If by Friday the stock is above $9.50, Okay, whoever bought that option will exercise it. Lisa will get all her money back, but she gets to keep the 24 cents per share, totally separate. Okay, so she makes that little rate of return by selling a covered call every single week. If it's above 950, Monday morning she'll have all her money back plus their profit. Now, if it's at 949, what happens? She keeps her profit, she keeps her stock, and she gets to sell it again at 950 and maybe pick up another 1 or 2 or 3%. You get to do it every single week until it hits your target. And you are the one who gets to choose your target. Okay, any contract has 4 items: beginning date, ending date, consideration, which is the money, okay, the premium, and meeting of the minds, which means a mutual agreement. But in this case, buying Ford stock at $9.50 anytime before 11 April, which is next Friday. If it doesn't work, good, sell the next one, 17 April. If it doesn't work, great, sell the next one, 25 April. And you can keep selling every single week. Does it matter how much you bring in? No, you're getting cash flow. You have an asset. Okay, $9.54 at this moment in time. It's Ford Motor Car Company. Okay, and the premiums, well, we looked up at the numbers and they're already over 2%. Well, 2% a week is freaking awesome. RITM, put options expire today. No, they expire tomorrow. And actually, they expire on Saturday. Okay, Caesar, hold on one second. Left guard 63. I missed you coming on. What time do you start nightly? Right around 9 o'clock. Now, I say right around 9 o'clock. It's usually around 9:10, 9:15, 9:17. But at 9 o'clock, I come into the room and I start turning stuff on. If everything comes on quick, I'm on faster. If I have issues, it takes a little bit. Now, I'm not technically, I'm not a technical genius. So I have all these, I got 6 cameras in front of me, software down here, another camera there, microphones here, lights all over the place, big screen there, big screen here. Yeah, I got a lot going on. Am I tech savvy? No. My son came, set it up, he tells me which buttons to push, and I'm good to go. If I could figure it out myself, I'd probably be better off. But it's a work in progress. Discanted bed. Juju, what's happening? World you want to live in, girl. How are you today? All right, so free speech and other stuff. You wanted to talk about rolling forward. Let me see if I get that question again. On weekly options on Thursday. Okay, yeah, you're talking about, hold on. Let me actually bring one up so you can actually see what we're looking at. No, right here. This one right there. Right there. And right there. All right, Ford Motor Company right there. So I'm going to left click and view all my trades on Ford Motor Company. Okay, so I'm into Ford Motor Company at $9.75. Now I sold the $8 call options. Well, the stock's at $9.54 and I sold the 8s. So yeah, but look at the date. 11 April. Look how much money I got for each one. $1.99. So if I add the $1.99 to the 8, my effective sale price would be $10 because 8 plus 2 is $10. Well, the stock right now is at $9.54. I'm not going to get called out. No one's going to pay $10 a share if they can buy it at $9.54. Okay, so I'm not at risk. All right, so anyway, you're talking about rolling it forward, buying back this week's because it's cheap and selling next week's. Well, let's take a look. Get out of there. First thing I want to do is right click. Okay, bring your cursor on top of whichever stock you're looking at. Right click. Okay. Drop down window opens up. You want to come to create rolling order. And then you click the rolling order right there. And here it is. All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to buy back 11 April, which is next Friday. And I'm going to sell 17 April, which is 2 Fridays away. Okay. Well, what does that do? It gives me an extra week and a little bit of extra money. So if the option decreases this week, yeah, buy it back for a smaller amount and roll it into another week And you can change the expiration date. You can change the strike price. You can even change how much money you want to get and whether or not you want it to be a day order or a good to cancel order. So you have a lot of opportunities to safeguard all your trades. It's just a time consuming learning how to do it. That's why we have that morning trading group, so you can ask questions. All right, so that was Ford. Okay, Lisa, I hope that made sense. Let's get it cracking like a breakfast egg, because life might fry you if you scrambling for answers. Oh my God, that's horrible. I get the joke. It's horrible. Radio Barry, how are you today? Hey, any thoughts on Fannie Mae? You actually got to give me, Brian, you actually got to give me the ticker symbol. Okay, because I don't trade Fannie Mae. I have no idea who they are. Jeremy, what time in the morning group? How do we join? Okay, see, now I promised I wouldn't try to sell anyone anything. If you're interested, drop me a number. I'll give you a buzz, show you how it works. You can actually find it in the on the web page. Okay, the 10MinuteTrader. Okay, the10minutetrader.com. That's not even the home page. Okay, here's the home page right there. That's just all my, what do you call it, social media? Yeah, I got a lot of that. So that's the home page right there. Simple, safe, predictable, 1% per week, live nightly training. That's what we're doing right now. Okay? Live nightly training, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what we're doing. Yeah, the live trading's right there. Just click on that. That'll take you to where you got to join. Jeremy, what time in the morning do you do it? 9 a.m. Lisa, yes, I'm glad it worked out for you. CRWV, tech company. Never heard of it. Let's go check it out. WV. Let's get out of there. And let's see what CRWV looks like. Huh, that's weird. Okay, CRWV. Okay, some strange reason, only 5 days is showing up for CRWV. I'm going to say no to that one. It's just not working. Where is morning trading? Morning trading is right on Zoom. Zoom. Product supply. The number one question is, how did you do if you were early to predict the $1,700 down drop? Yeah, that's the wrong question, dude. I don't pay attention to that. Yeah. Okay, Radwild, yeah, no thank you. It's got to be 22 decades. It's 20 years. Brian, AVGO, hold tight. Number one question, yeah, I don't do that game, okay? I buy dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. It's a specific strategy that pays no attention whatsoever to the economy and the crap that's going on. All right, David, okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I don't do IPOs, sorry. I'm not trying to make your stomach hurt, but harder laughter it's a workout. I charge gym fees. That's a good one. I like that one. Okay, Totus, is there any time where the margin percent you can arbitrage shrinks? I haven't noticed it. Josh wants to take a look at General Electric. Now, General Electric I can get behind. They're over 100 years old, okay? But look at the big drop today on GE. So before we discount it, all right, STLA for the dividend. Okay, big brain, I told you we'll take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Okay, STLA. Now, okay, Stellantis. What am I looking at this for? Look at all the gaps. Holy cow. Seriously, look at them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a lot of gaps in there. Okay, here's the high, here's the low, went up, now it's coming back down again. So we're going to say no to Stellantis. Sorry. Now, we're probably not going to find anything decent today. because it's Thursday. Okay. Now, also that, what they call today? Liberation Day. Okay, call it whatever you want. All right, the world didn't end. That's a good thing, right? Democrats said the world's gonna end. Trump's gonna ruin everything. Yeah, the world's still going. My electricity's still on. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get back to General Electric. This thing is too choppy for me. That don't look any better. Company is bleeding money. Okay, I don't know which one is that. No liquidity. Thirsty Thursday. Okay, Big Brain just got number one. AVGO isn't 20 years old. Dividends, but neither is Marisarite. It does have really good premiums. All right, Brian, we're going to take a look at it because I have bought AVGO in the past. Now, sometimes I will buy stocks that aren't 20 years old if they're on Warren Buffett's list or another trader that I respect. Okay, there's a lot of traders out there that I have great respect for because they're better traders than I am. Okay, now Warren Buffett, yeah, I'm going to say he's a better trader. He has more experience. Okay. That's so much better than the tea. Anyway, General Electric. This is what we're looking at. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the movement. Up, sideways. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, great. Now, besides the Liberation Day blowout, whatever you want to call it, let's see what it's doing. It's not that difficult to see. Up, down, up, down. Okay, so we had 2 days to the upside after this bottom here. Now, today, I'm going to call that an anomaly because this is not something that happens every day. Okay, General Electric has been in business for over 100 years. They're not going anywhere. Okay? And they're not susceptible to the tariff bullshit. They're not. They don't import anything. It's an electric company. Having issues with YouTube. Not YouTube, Facebook. All right. All right. So I would like to find out what's going on here today. Look at the amount of volume. Okay, the blue line in the back, that's the amount of volume. Here's the normal days right here. And what happened today, that's twice as much volume than normal. Okay, so it's an anomaly. Doesn't happen all the time. What's going to happen tomorrow? Probably things are going to go back to the way they're supposed to be. Who knows? Everything will level out eventually. All right, so let's keep on going. What else are we looking at? I'm just joking around. My humor is real good to people. It leaves bruises. All righty then. I heard that today, and I was like, what the heck is Liberation Day? Yeah, it's one of those things that's weird. Okay? People are panicking. It was a big bill of legislation saying, all right, this is what's going on. This is what we're going to do. Okay, let's level out the playing field. I don't want to talk politics, so let's get off that subject. Okay? Now, Brian wants to take a look at AVGO. Okay. AVGO. It went down today also. I'm kind of curious. Did anything actually go up today? I'm curious. Well, let's take a look at a few. So AVGO, look at this. 3 days to the upside. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nice. Thursday, a little bit of pullback. Now, could that be stock market wide? Could everything possibly have dropped today? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Did anything go up? Who knows? Somebody here got to know something that went up today. Alrighty. Leon's son, good evening. Harold Lampkins, good evening. David Moskovic. Did it work even today during the sell-off? All right, so David, here's the thing about the sell-off. I wasn't involved with it at all. I don't subject myself to weird shit. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it weird shit. Why? Well, because General Electric has been in business for over 100 years. Do you honestly, now ask yourself, honestly, in the last 100 years, do you think this is the only bullshit story that General Electric has seen? Ford, Harley Davidson, Procter & Gamble, General Mills, Bank of America. There's a lot of crap that happened over the last 100 years. Yet these companies consistently be profitable year after year after year. Those are the only ones I'm looking at. The ones that aren't phased by this weird crap that happens every time, well, almost every time there's a administration change. Okay, a lot of weird stuff happened in the first couple of months with what's his name, Joey, and then Barack. Okay, even the Clintons. Anytime a new administration comes in, the first 100 days are usually freaking weird in the stock market. But then we get an even level and things start to level off and we get into the rhythm. Okay, fine. Okay, Broadcom, this is what it's doing. Okay, here's your high, she drops, back up again, drops again. Now, drops here, well, they're usually profit taking because when they're low, people start buying. And as they go up, look at from 200 to 240. That's a $40 increase right here. $40 increase. Well, yeah, that's a 20% increase from here to here. Yeah, profit taking, drops. Okay, here, 175. Then it jumps up to 200. That's a $25 increase, $25. Okay, that's another, what, 10 or 15%. No, about 10%. Okay, yeah, profit taking, drops again. Now here we are here. The anomaly today, I'm going to have to overlook it because it's going to ruffle some feathers for a little while until people say, wait a second, the world didn't end. The electricity is still working. The gas stations are still pumping gas. The traffic lights are still working. Everybody's still going to work. So no, it's not the end of the world. So let's just figure out what's going on and get back to business as usual. All right. So that being said, EVGO, the numbers look interesting. Okay, because we're currently at 154. Okay, and the 155s are going for $5 a share. That's over 3%. But the big question is, do you like AVGO enough to buy it and say, you know what? I'm going to hold this to the day I die and sell a covered call every single week after week after week after week until it hits my target. Because I could honestly, I could care less about the company. Seriously, I can. I think it's great that they're consistently profitable. Wonderful. Those are the only ones I want to play with. Okay? They're the only ones invited to my sandbox. We play around a little bit. I get some cash flow from each one of them. And when they're done giving me some cash flow, I move on to the next one. But every once in a while, I'll come back to AVGO. Because after she goes down, she goes back up again, makes her profit, and comes back down. And then here, where you sell, you just wait for it to hit the bottom again. Once it hits the bottom, turns around, then you jump back in. You get your profit, it's going to drop back down again. That's all stocks do. They go up, they go down. So my idea for me is to collect that 1% every single week. Deeds Power Wagon, back again, cool beans. Buffett is cashed up for bargains. Hey, I don't blame him. A lot of people are going to panic. And what do people who panic do? They sell and they take the losses. Am I going to sell? No. I've been playing this game long enough. Okay, remember, I've seen, and I actually lived through, okay, I was actually investing during the Y2K. Some of you remember that. Some of you have no idea what Y2K is. Okay, but during Y2K, there was a huge sell-off. And then the dot-com bust, the dot-com bubble. Okay, I lost a shitload of money then. Did, seriously. I lost $91,000 in 1 week because of the dot-com bubble. All right. And then in 2008, the financial crisis, stocks dropped anywhere from 50 to 70%. A lot of people panicked and lost their money, lost their shirts. And then we had that other one in 2021 when that jabby thingy. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Only because I don't want to be canceled. Anyway, don't get me started. But anyway, remember, these companies, or most of these companies, are going to be around a lot longer than you and I. Coca-Cola is over 140 years old. Okay? Consolidated Edison, over 200 years old. And you really think the world's going to end for these companies that have been around for 100 and 200 years just because we enter the game? No. Okay, stocks go up, we make a profit. Stocks go down, we sit on the sidelines and wait. Okay, I want to buy here as she's turning around going up. Once she gets up to here, okay, even when she goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, I want to get my one. I'm only looking for 1% a week. That's all I'm looking for. But I can do it consistently every single week because I'm not greedy. I can honestly really care less if the stock goes from 154 to 230. Honestly, I could care less. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for safety, predictability, consistency, and profitability. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I created a strategy for my 9-year-old daughter, and it worked better than any strategy I had, so I'm using her strategy. Now, I did show it to her. I did show you the princess a little while ago. Anyway, I get on that rant, and I start just going on and on and on. All right. TJX went up today. Oh, did it really? Okay, we just looked at Broadcom. Didn't do anything big. So TJX, let's take a look at that one. TJX. Holy cow, it did go up today. See? Not the end of the world. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to buy it. Look at it. Okay? All right, hold on a second. I'm going to go back up, and I want to show you something. Okay? Every time I look at any stock, I always go systematically. Okay? A plus B equals C, then I come to D, so on and so forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Step number 1, always the 1-year chart. Always the 1-year chart. Now I'm looking for certain things. 5 to be exact. 1, the high of the year. Well, look at it. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times, and it wouldn't go higher than that. Well, that's good to know. It's good, valuable information. All right. Low of the year. Right there. Where was it a year ago? Right there. Where is it now? Right there. And what is the motion of the ocean for the last year? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Look at the waves. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Now she's going up. However, before we even go here, look at the up for the last couple of weeks. That should stick out like a sore thumb. So I want to zoom into it really quick. Yeah, I'm not jumping on that pony. Sorry. Okay, look at this. Nice run up. One thing I never do, okay? I don't buy at the bottom, okay? Because you don't know if it's the bottom, because the next day it could be lower. But here, that's the bottom. 1 day, 2 days the upside. I'm in on the 3rd day. That's me. You guys have to figure out what works for you. Okay, 3rd day I'm in. Take it for a little ride. I don't want to take the whole ride. I just want to go for a little ride. Get my 1% every 5 days. Okay, take a look. What do the numbers look like? Is there a possibility for me to make another 1 or 2% using the same wave? Taking a little wave for a ride, a little surfboard, whatever. Whatever metaphor you want to use. If it continues to go up and I continue rolling it forward, right? Continue getting my 1% every week. Well, great. I'm okay with that. But if I buy down here, remember, 3rd day up, okay, and it's up here, I'm seriously thinking of jumping ship. Because what's going to happen? Well, look at the bottom. 112. Where is it now? 128. That's a $14 increase. 10, yeah. No, wait a minute. 10, 16. It's a $16 increase. A $16 increase on a $112 stock is close to 15%. That's a big jump. 15%. Yeah, I'm out. Okay, could it go higher? Yeah, it could. I'll ride it until it stops and starts turning back down again. Then I'll get rid of it. And then jump on to the next one. Because guess what? When it hits its high and starts taking profits, it'll take about a week or 2 for it to come all the way back down here again before it comes back into the buying range, where it hits the bottom, turns around, goes back up again. Yeah. So I'll put this one on the side for 2 weeks, come back to it in 2 weeks and see what it's doing. If it's doing what I like it to do, then I'll jump in again. If everything else looks okay. That's just the way it is. Because I look at the same stocks over and over and over again. And then there's a reason why. Well, they're over 100 years old, a lot of them. They're consistently profitable. Well, that works for me. Okay. Lisa, me too, cool beans. Luigi wants to take a look at Coca-Cola. Now, you really can't go wrong with Coca-Cola if, this is a big if you're okay with not getting 1% every week. Now, I'm not going to do Coca-Cola. It took me 2 seconds to see that. It's at the high of the year. Yeah, no thank you. What do you think happens after the high of the year? It went from 68 to 74. Well, that's a $8 increase, which is what, 12%? From here to here, 12%. Yeah, they got profit taking coming right around the corner. Okay? All right, so that's Coca-Cola. But think about it. If you buy Coca-Cola at 73, the 73 is going for 106. Okay, I'm walking away with 1%, but I'm not buying at the high. Yeah, I'll wait for it to come back down. So Coca-Cola, I'll put that on the list for 2 weeks from today, which is I'm going to do right now. All right. So that being said, that's Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola's been in business for over 100 years. I really don't think there's a risk with Coca-Cola other than hitting the wrong button. And that does happen. Nice. Matt likes it. Romario. Don't need to catch all the move. Just want to be right most of the time. Absolutely. Luigi wants to take a look at Dell. I love Dell, and I actually have some Dell. Just so happens to happen that way. Ouch. Holy shit. Hey, it happens. And guess what? If you're not ready for something like this, because look, we had 2 days to the upside. Had a nice bottom here. Tuesday was up, Wednesday was up, and we were waiting to jump in today. Today would have been a perfect day to jump in if the politics didn't get in the way. And that's exactly what it was. It was politics. It had nothing to do with the company. Okay? Nothing really happened to the company today. Other than, hey, we're having reciprocal taxes. All right, big deal. So what? Dell gets most of their stuff here in the U.S. They import some stuff, so yeah, might have a little bit of an issue. But it is what it is. What is the best amount of money to start with in the markets? Matt, I can't answer that question for you because I know absolutely nothing about you. Okay? My suggestion to everybody who starts out, paper trade for a while. It may sound like a waste of time, but as you are learning, you're not losing anything. Okay? Then you have to decide what's the right amount to start out with you. Now, when I first started, back in the 90s, I started with $12,000. I actually took a mortgage out on my house, released some equity. Because I'm one of those guys who will buy a house. I won't buy a house unless it's all busted up and needs work. Because you make your money in the real estate market when you buy, not when you sell. You make your money when you buy. Because you have to be able to see the potential in the dwelling that you're going to get. And if the potential's not there, well, I don't want it. It just so happens the house that I saw, I think I bought it at 109. I put like 15,000 into it. And then 90 days later, I took out 75. Yeah, that was nice. Because buy below market value, need some work, do the work myself. After that, refinance, get the cash out, blah, 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 jump into the game. Yeah, I made some, I lost some. But anyway, we're here. Let's keep on progressing forward. All right, what else do we got? How many shares should one invest to in this single stock? Matt, again, that's going to be strictly on you. Okay, what I do with mine is whatever account. I got 7 accounts. Each account I have anywhere between 5 to 8 positions in each one. So if it's 5 positions, I do 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. If it's 8 positions, it's 12.5%, 12.5%. I try to keep them even. But as you keep rolling, eventually they do get off skewed and the stock prices are different. So it's 20,000 into this one, 18,000 into this one, 15,000 in this one, 22,000 in this one. So I kind of spread it out as best I can because I'm not looking for what everybody else is looking for. I'm looking for cash flow. That's it. Is the company going to give me cash flow? The only way I can figure that out is, are they consistently profitable? Are they a dividend king, a dividend aristocrat, dividend champion, dividend contender? Are they on Warren Buffett's list? Are they a stock that I'm okay with buying, owning, and holding for the rest of my life? And does it have weekly options so I can get weekly cash flow without sitting in front of my computer? I have no desire to sit in front of my computer at all. I have no idea what my accounts did today. None. Because I haven't looked at them yet. Okay? Now, this is one of them. I haven't even looked. I did. It's weird. You know, people think it's weird. Like, well, I don't need to. Because I did all my trading on Monday. I looked at all my stuff this morning, and guess what? Tomorrow's Friday. Options are going to expire. So I'm going to take a look at all 7 accounts, and I'm going to look at, hey, what is possibly, which one of these trades is possibly going to give me an issue? Well, most of them, the options are going to expire, or I'm going to push it into next week. One or the other. It's not as complicated as most people think it is. It was created for a 9-year-old. I don't know why adults don't get it. Are you profitable, sir? Raul Gupta. Do you trade for a living? I am retired, okay? So I don't do anything for a living now, okay? I breathe and I take up space. That's about all I do nowadays. Now, I've been working since 1973, and we are in 2025, 73 to 2025. What is that, 52 years? Or is that 42 years? 75? 95? You know, I got to do this thing. Yeah, so I've been working for a while. All right. So am I profitable? Yes, I am. I made more money this week than I probably should have, especially doing what I'm doing, because my goal is 1% per week. And this week I made an absurd amount for some days. Okay, so let's keep on going. We got, holy cow, 82 questions over here. Uh-oh, and I just missed most of them. Uh-oh. Come on. Uh-oh. It's not letting me look at them. All right, here we go. Don't forget, squeezing upside lower, CRWV, got that one, Ray Barry. He has a paid group you can join. Thank you, that silver guy. Houston Daniels, Hood is squeezing upside or lower. I'm assuming you're looking at Robinhood, H-O-O-D, H-O-O-D. Now, that one, I don't do Robinhood, only because Robinhood's not 20 years old, and I don't think they have that many profits. All right. Here's the high, here's the low. She jumps up, pulls back. In 2 days, the upside, it would have been nice to jump in there to take up that large. Look at your high here. Your profit taking drops down here, retraces from 35 to 50. That's $15. $15, 35 to 50. That's 50, 35. That's almost a 48% increase from here to here. Okay, from 35 to 50. Okay, that's a big increase. So yeah, profit taking dropped down. Now she's moving back up. Today's the anomaly. Yeah, it's going to take about a week or so to get rid of this anomaly effect, where things start going back to semi-normal. Don't forget compound interest, please. Oh, Laurie, yeah, let me do that one. Okay, hold on a second. Matt, he has already admitted he's going to convince you to invest. Matt, I did not say that at all. Okay, well, let me read what Radfit said. Radfit, you're not being totally nice here. For some days, okay. Matt, he already admitted he's going to convince you to invest. Then he's going to outsmart you and take your money. Then the controllers of the market will manipulate it and take his. Cool beans. Radcliffe, I love negative people because they say if you don't have enough haters, you're not working hard enough. And that's pretty good hate stuff, dude. I'm glad you find that you think that I'm that way. Okay, it's a free country. You can think whatever you want. Disco XP, cool looking chart behind you. What's that? That is Robinhood. That stuff. Now, I don't do Robinhood because they haven't been around long enough, which means they don't have the historical performance that I'm looking for. Okay? Did Trump also liberate you of your portfolio gains? Nope. Not a single penny has left my account yet. Okay. Lori, let's do compound interest because you're interested in that. Let's see if we can do it this way. What the hell is that? Oh, all right. That's what I want to see right there. Weekly compound interest calculator. Before I do the weekly compound interest calculator, A1 stake, nope. All right, we got Donnie is sure waging war against my 401k. All right, sorry, dude. Appreciate it, Reddit. James is legit. Take my words for it. I would know if he wasn't. All right, thanks, Matt. Lisa M. Gupta, you're 16. You have a long life to live. Just keep moving forward. Learn from your mistakes because your mistakes are not necessarily bad if they're your teachers. Yeah, if you learn from your mistake, that's awesome. Okay, that's what you got to do. You get up, you fall down. Well, you get up, you fall down, and you keep getting up after you fall down. All right, so compound interest. Let me show you exactly how it works. Okay, let's get the calculator here. That's it? Really? Okay. Okay. That's all it's going to do. All right, so that's going to do nothing. All right, let's clear that out of the way. Clear. Why is it not clearing? All right, I'm going to open it up again. Hold that thought. Calculator. And here we go. All right, that's much better. Okay, so compound interest. You ready, Laurie? Here we go. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, all right, I want to do 1%. So 1.01 plus memory. Clear. All right. All right, so Laurie, let's start out with $100. All right? So $100. Now, we want to multiply it by 1.01. The reason being, 1% of 100 is going to be $1. So if I multiply it by 1.01, it's going to give me the answer for 1%. All right? So memory recall. Oops, let's clear that. All right, sorry. 100 multiply 1.01 equals 101. Okay? That's 1 week. That's 1% at 1 week. Okay? Now, we do this 52 times. Are you ready? All right. Multiply memory recall equals. So that's week number 2. Multiply memory recall equals. That's week number 3. Multiply memory recall equals. That's week number 4. Multiply memory recall equals. That's week number 5. Okay, now we do this 52 times because there's 52 weeks in a year. So that's 5. That's 6. That's 7. There's 8. Do you see how this number here is starting to get bigger? Okay, it's growing by 1% every week, but also this is the compound. This is the interest right here on top of the interest, because this here is interest, 1% a week, but this is 1% of the 1%. Watch as it continues to grow. So we're up to 8 weeks so far. Multiply memory recall. That's 9. Multiply memory recall, there's 10. multiply and memory recall, there's 11, so on and so forth. So by the end of the year, by end of 52 times, this number should be around 150 or 160, somewhere in that area. But here's the thing. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. All right. I actually created a compound weekly interest calculator, which does the exact same thing. But this one that I created allows you to have, sorry, a bug flying in my eye. All right. This one allows you to start off with a certain amount of money, and it allows you to add in a certain amount on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, or a monthly basis. So let's say I start out with $1,000. All right, let's start out with just $100. Okay. Go on that example I just gave you. Okay. Let's put in $10 a week, and let's look at just 1% every week, because that's what I'm teaching here. 1% every week. All right. Now, the deposit frequency, weekly. I can do weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Okay. Now, I'm doing this on a weekly basis because I put money into my account every single week. So weekly, and if I want to do it monthly or yearly, let's do it yearly. Okay. So 1 year. Remember I said it should be about 74%. So when I hit calculate, this should come up to somewhere around $174. That's not right. Oh, all right, hold on. Let's get rid of that. 0. Okay. All right, so it's 167. So it's 67%. So 1% every single week is 67% per year. All right. So let's see what happens if you add $10 a week. All right, so add $10 a week. Okay, at the end of the year, you get 845. The interesting thing about it, when you compound your interest, you get interest. And then the next week, you get interest plus interest on top of the interest. And then week 3, you get interest, then interest on top of the interest from week 1, and interest from the interest of week 2 on week 3. So week 4, you get interest plus interest from week 1, interest on top of week 2, interest on top of interest of week 3. So as you keep going throughout the year, the interest just keep compounding, gets larger and larger and larger. So I actually had to create this calculator because I wanted to see what it would take to get to some kind of a target so that I can retire sooner. And I retired at 59. Well, it's later than some, earlier than others. Bryce, how are you doing? Oh, A1 stake, more like compound losses under Trump. Well, I'm terribly sorry to tell you this. I hate peeing on someone's parade. But here's the thing. I've been trading since the 1990s. Okay, I've been doing this strategy since 08. Okay, so the first couple of years weren't that great. It wasn't until my 9-year-old asked me to teach her. Great. Well, this strategy has been consistently getting me about 50% every single year. And this year under Trump, I'm making a hell of a lot more than I did last year, and more than I made the year before, and more than I made the year before, all through the Obama crap. Anyway, it is what it is. Don't get me started on politics. I think the fly wants to invest in some eye juice for weekly squirts. That's terrible, Matt, but okay. Tommy, nice work. Can I ask for the link? I almost just got here. Oh, well, that's the 10-minute trader. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Homepage. There we go. Yeah, that's the homepage for the 10-minute trader. Okay, so let's get back to the trading so we can see where we are. All righty. John, please walk through an example for the recent trade start to finish. Okay, we're going to do that in a second. Who taught you how to trade? Jeremy, I have done many classes. I have paid for, over the last 20 years, maybe close to $50,000 worth of classes. You know, $3,000 for this one, $2,000 for that one, $1,500 for this one, $100 for that one, blah, 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 blah. Over the last, what year is it? Okay, I started trading in the 90s, 30, holy shit, 30 years. Damn, I'm getting old. Wonderful. All right, so let's take a look at Robinhood. Why not? We get it open. So let's get out of here. So Robinhood is currently at 38.31. The closest strike price to 38.31 is going to be the 38.50. Well, look at what it's returning. $1.98 per share. Now, you may not think $1.98 per share is a lot of money, but let's do the math. Let's do the example so you can see what a covered call for Robinhood looks like. All right, so let's change this from single to covered stock. Now, 38.50 right there. Now, I just want to do one contract. Now, one contract, and I want to do a market order. Now, the reason why I want to do a market order rather than a limit order, let me explain the difference between the two. A market order is, I want it now, I don't care what the price is. Okay, that the market maker is required by law to fill instantaneously. That's his job, to create the market. Now, a limit order says, this is what I want to pay, and that's it. Well, that can stay on the market maker's screen all day long and never get filled. Now, the reason why I like market orders when I'm entering into a trade, because I'm buying the stock and selling the option at the exact same time. So the option, I need two hands for this one. So the option and the stock are linked together. So I know exactly what I'm making before I even do the trade. Remember when I said simple, safe, predictable, and consistent, and no way to lose? Okay, that's the 5 criteria. Simple, okay, a covered call is one of the simplest, safest trading strategies there is. You can even do it in an IRA. Some strategies you cannot do in an IRA, but a covered call you can, because it's simple and safe. That's why they allow it in a regulated trading account. Okay, predictable. I know exactly, max profit. I know exactly what I'm going to make before I even do the trade. It might not be exact, but it's pretty damn close. Now, when I say pretty damn close, because in the morning when the market opens, all the numbers are going to change. But these two are already linked together, and it gives me the amount that I'm going to make, 221. How much is it costing me? 3,600. Let's do some math. Now, for those of you who didn't pay attention in math, this is exactly what your math teacher said. You're going to need when you get older. Trust me, algebra, you're going to need it when you get older. A lot of people say, yeah, I'm not going to need any algebra when I get older. Yeah, you are. Okay, you're an adult. You're going to need to figure out how many hours you need to work a week in order to make your paychecks, all right, to pay your bills. Okay, if I'm getting $20 an hour and I work 40 hours, this is what I'm going to make. Well, honey, that's not enough to pay the bills. All right, I'll work some overtime. How much overtime do I need to work in order to pay the bills comfortably? That's algebra. Sorry, it is what it is. All right, so profit, 221. I'm going to stick that right here, 221. Now, to find out the rate of return, you take your profit, 221, and you divide it by the cost of the trade plus commissions and fees, 36.29. Divide 36.29 comes to a grand total of, holy shit, 6%. This is a 6% trade. Okay, before you get all excited about 6%, because 6% every single week, yeah, I doubt you're going to get it, but it would be nice. Okay, now I average over 1% every week. I very rarely see 6%, but it is what it is. These are the numbers. This is what it looks like at this moment in time. Okay? So, the question is, number one, does it make sense? Number two, do you like this stock? Number 3, are you willing to buy this stock and hold it to the day you die or until it hits your target? Well, what's my target? My target is 38.50. Well, currently it's at 38.31. So how far away is 38.50? It's not that far at all. So am I okay with holding it at 38.30 and just waiting for it to hit 38.50 and writing a covered call every single week? Because Robinhood, you can write a call option, sell a call option every single week, week after week after week. It's like a cash flow machine, but it's going to take you 10 to 15 minutes a day. So that's the big question. And a lot of people don't do it because they don't have 10 or 15 minutes a day. Oh, wake up a little earlier, sleep a little faster, okay? However you've got to do it. Because here's the thing. If you're getting 1% every week, it may not be a lot, but as you consistently grow your account, and when you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, you'll have a lifetime amount of money. Okay, it's not uncommon to see people in their 60s and 70s having accounts in 100,000, 200,000, 400,000, 500,000. It's not uncommon at all. I talk to a lot of people every day. Okay, some have 50,000, some have 300,000. I got one client who has a couple of million. Well, I'd be retired if I had a couple of million, because 1 million invested at 1% a week, it's $10,000 a week. I think I could live at $10,000 a week pretty easily. But they like their work and they continue working. More power to them. Let's go on to the next one. So, the questions. Do I like Robinhood? Am I willing to buy it, hold on to it, write a covered call every single week, even if it brings me 0.5%? Because 0.5% every single week is over 26% per year. And when's the last time you got 26% per year? Well, this is giving you 6. Okay, now 6% is going to be what, a 300% return at the end of the year? Okay, multiply that by 52. 316%. Well, that's a nice number. All right, Antoine says strategy's working for him. Dang, that's a lot. Oh, look at that. Ganishnu, Tenishnu. Scam, everyone. Okay, not quite sure why you would say that. You don't even know me. This is your first time here. Kind of rude to insult somebody the first day you met him. Is what it is. Do you ever close or buy back the option before it expires if a good profit was achieved? Absolutely. But here's the thing. Now, when you sell an option, hold on a second, another question. CPNT Fantastic. Oh, Captain Fantastic. Cool. What's the coolest fact you know that you ever get a chance to tell anybody? Oh, on dividend stocks, you don't have to own the stock all year to collect the dividend. Only one day. Doesn't that seem unfair? You have people that hold the stock all year long and they get a dividend. You can buy a stock the day before the EX dividend date and collect the dividend. You don't have to hold it all year. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that when I first started. It took me years before someone explained it to me. Dividends, yeah, I don't want to wait a year to get those things. You don't need to wait a year. 1 or 2 days, that's it. All right, let's go to the next one. Captain Fantastics, okay. Great dividend fact, thanks. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. Oh, okay, so Christ Moneymaker says Fannie Mae doesn't pay dividends. All right, so much for Fannie Mae. That is the definition of covered call. Covered means you own the underlying stock. That means you're covered. You're safe. You're good to go. However you want to, whatever analogy you want to use. You're under the umbrella. That's a good one. Radio Barry, when is the morning trading? 9 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Friday we jump in at 2:30. Reason being at 2:30 because the market closes at 4. All the options expire at 4 p.m. So we want to make sure everybody's profitable. Okay? So if I'm going to be your mentor and you're going to be trading with me, my job is to make sure you don't lose. Now, I can't help it if you hit the wrong button. That I can't help you. Okay? John, when do you close the option position? Okay, John, usually 80 to 90% of the time, I let them expire. Okay, so I sell it on Monday. See, the stock market is strange because to do any kind of transaction, you got to buy something and you got to sell something. Okay, that's the way it's always fixed in people's mind. You got to buy something and then you got to sell something. Well, in the stock market, you can do it backwards. You can sell something that you don't own and then later buy it because it closes out the transaction. Any transaction you make, you're buying something and you're selling something. It's the same two things, buying and selling. Okay? Buy, sell, buy. It's still the exact same equation. It's called context. Okay? So if I sell it first, later on I got to buy it. So a covered call is I own the stock and then I sell somebody a stock option, which later during the week, Friday afternoon at 4 p.m., it's going to be in the money or out of the money. It's going to be worth something or it's going to be worth nothing. But they all expire on Saturday. They say Friday because you can't do anything on a Saturday. So if it's in the money, at the money, or out of the money on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, well, there's your answer. So if I sell something for $100 on Monday and Friday at 3:59 p.m., it's only worth $1, I'll let it expire to nothing. Do you use trade lines in your trading? I have no idea what you mean by trade lines. Or do you mean trend lines? Because the difference between a trend line and a trade line. Legend, they are new. Okay, yep. CRW is a new stock. Yeah, I don't do new stocks. They got to have at least 20 years of profitability. Brian, AVGO, hold that thought. Tread lines or trend lines? John, do you ever buy deep in the money leaps versus buying the stock? Yeah, John, I used to do that. It's called a calendar spread. I got bit in the butt too many times with those, so I don't do those anymore. I find it simpler, safer, more predictable just doing the covered calls. Okay, now it's called a calendar spread, also known as a poor man's covered call, which works great, but doesn't work all the time. Josh, we already looked at General Electric. So Brian wants us to look at AVGO. All right, let's look at AVGO. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of this. Let's get back to right here and pull up AVGO. AVGO. Is that Broadcom? Okay. Now, Broadcom, don't get me wrong, I've traded it once or twice. But look at the chart. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, sideways, big jump, now it's dropping. And it's continuously dropping. Look at the highs here, it's continuously dropping. Now it stopped here for a bit, tried to stop here, but it kept on going. So today, Liberation Day, kind of put a monkey wrench into things. Is Broadcom really going to be affected by the tariffs? Probably not. But panic selling, when it rains on everyone. Okay? So rain. So even though we had 2 days to the upside, which is perfectly what we were looking for an entry, today is an anomaly. Okay? Will tomorrow and next week take care of this? Because look at the top here, 240, dropping down here. This could be the bottom of the year. It could have been. But today, it's, one of those things that just so happens to happen. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it indifferent? It is what you want it to believe, what you ever believe it to be. Okay, Totus. Is there any time when the margin percentage you can arbitrage shrink? Okay, Totus, you're going to have to be a little bit more specific of what you mean by that, because it's not as clear as you think it is, that question. I agree with A1 Steak. Show us your portfolio. Why the hell would you want to look at my portfolio? Oh, wait a second. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. Weekly trades for 2025. I have 7 different accounts. I'm going to show you 3 of them. Okay, account number 1. Beginning of the year, I started with 151. Account number 2 started with 143. Account number 3, I started with 114. Okay, go all the way back to week 1 of the first quarter. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, here's all my trades: U.S. Steel, MPW, Intel, Altria, Harley Davidson, Intel, and Riley. Okay, all of these are the profits I made for this week. Well, what was the grand total for those profits? Here it is right here. Profits, $9,341, 6.19% in week number 1 in account number 1. Account number 2, not so much. 2, Kohl's and MPW. Well, what did I make there? Well, I make $2,600 there, or 1.82%. Okay, account number 3, Riot, Halliburton, Riley, CVS, Foot Locker, Kohl's, U.S. Steel, Riley, Riot, and Walgreens. Okay, 4,839, 4.23%. First week of January. Second week of January. Third week of January. Fourth week of January. Blah, blah, blah. All the way up to week number 13, which just so happened to be March 24th to March 28th. Well, look at this. Okay, over here, 4,986, 3.1%. Okay, last week, 2,280, 1.25%. Count number 1, 2,600, 1.31%. Okay, you want my account right there. I share every single trade. I have 0 losses through 7 accounts for this year. 0. Okay? Now, I am going to take my first loss in the next couple of weeks because Altria is going the wrong way. Okay? But they're all there. You want to take a look at any single one? Just click on any one. Okay? Green is for buying. Red is for selling. I sell covered calls every single week on the positions that I have. You want to see what I have? Well, I got Foot Locker, Riot, Walgreens, Riley, Walgreens again? Yeah, Walgreens again. Okay, if you know how to read this, you'll be able to do the math yourself. Or you can just take my word for it. Okay, all of these trades came up to $5,006 for account number 3, week number 6, February 3rd through February 7th. Those are all the trades. Account number. You know what? I showed you. You figure it out yourself. Stop wasting my time looking at that crap. There. All right. Let's continue. I agree with him. No more democracy. Trump forever. All right, Lewis, doesn't really work that way. Lewis, Lewis, fee take these somewhere else. Okay. Robert Jordan, what time frame do you look at? Okay, now I tell you over and over and over again, it's the same thing every single time. Okay, let's look at another one. Hold on a second. Josh, we already looked at General Electric. STLA. We already looked at Stellantis. Austin, good evening. Ooh, take a look at this. Cesar wants to take a look at Apache. All right, so let's take a look at Apache. APA. APA. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. 1 year chart. Take you 4 seconds. Should take you 4 seconds. 3 to 4. 3, 4. Okay. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? What's the direction? Down, sideways. Down, up, down, up. What the hell happened here? That's basically it. Then I take a look at the 90-day chart. Okay, so what am I looking for on the 1 year chart? I want to see the high is, I want to see the low is, and I want to see what the movement is. It's a downward movement until we get down to here, the low of the year. Okay, that's all I'm looking for on the 1 year chart. I don't want to buy it at the high, and I don't want to buy it at the low. Right now it's at the low. No, thank you. So last 90 days. Okay, here's your last 90 days. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. Yeah, she's supposed to continue to the upside, except for today, someone tipped over the apple cart. Is what it is. So we'll see what happens tomorrow in the next couple of days, because that there and the big gap down, yeah, that thing's going to turn around and go back up again. But when? I look for 2 days to the upside. We have a new bottom right here. So tomorrow, maybe not. Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe, if everything else looks good. Well, what's that? Well, look at the last 30 days. Last 30 days, here's your bottom, here's your top. She came down a little bit, then this big drop. More than likely, this thing's going to turn and then go back up again. Everything is probably going to turn and go back up again. So smart people didn't sell at a loss. Some people did. Some people panic. Some people thought the world was going to end today. Well, it didn't. Okay, see, my electricity's still on, so that's still working. All righty. Company is bleeding money. Okay, user, I have no idea which one you're talking about. Big Brain, Thursday, no idea what that means. Brian, AVGO, we talked about that already. Did it work even during today's sell-off? Okay, David, I didn't pay attention to the sell-off. As a matter of fact, I have no idea where my account is even at. No idea at all. Okay, Brad Wild wants to take a look at RY. What the hell is RY? That's never a good sign. If I have to say what the hell is it, yep, it means it's a no. Usually. Okay, not always, but usually. So RY is a no. 17 April, 16 May, 18 July. Yeah, that's a monthly options. Monthly options, you can only trade once a month. No, that doesn't work for me, because once a month doesn't give me 50% per year. And that's what I'm looking for. Royal Bank, isn't it RBC? RBC. No. That's Regal Beloit Corporation. Okay, so what's Royal Bank? Give me the ticker symbol. Buffett's not a better trader. No, he's not. He's an investor. Is the difference between the two. Okay, Clam Shorts, MSTY, huh? MSTY. That's a Yield Max product. Yeah, let's take a look at the Yield Max product. MSTY, Yield Max. Well, let's see how wonderful they are at increasing their dividends. Historical data. Now, I want to take a look at historical data. Specifically, I want to see how consistent increasing they are with their profitability. Okay, dividends only. Okay, so let's take a look at all of the dividends that MSTY had. Are you shitting me? This thing's not even a year old yet. Okay, all right, it's not even a year old. All right, so let's take a look at profitability and consistency of profitability. Now, my idea of consistency of profitability looks something like this. 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 20, 22, 27, 30, 33. Every single number gets higher and higher and higher. That is consistency of profitability. It's a one-year-old company. Do you really think they're going to have 20 years of profits? No, they don't even have one. And look at the numbers. 413, 252. That's almost a 50% drop. Then it goes to 303. Then it drops to 233. That's a big drop. Then it drops to 194. Then it drops to 185. It's going backwards. Yeah, no thank you. That is not consistency of profitability. So MSTY for me is going to be a no. Okay, Royal Bank, Brad Wild, you got to give me the ticker symbol. SDIV, okay, user, I'm going to call you Peter. User 4222919870996. Let's call you Sally, because your parents named you weird. SDIV. What the heck is SDIV? SDIV. Oh, it's an ETF. And it has dividends. So let's see how many dividends it has. 2011. Now, 2011 to today, well, that's not 20 years. What is that? 2011? 14 years? All right, so this only has 14 years. All right, well, let's take a look at the numbers. You ready? 30, 24. That's backwards. 29, 83, 18, backwards. 27, 83, 10, backwards. 19, 64, 33, backwards. 47, 53, 36, backwards. 35, backwards. Yeah, forget this one. Okay, that's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Yeah, no thank you. Okay, when I say, hold on. Take a look at this. This will give you a better idea. Okay, you ready? All right. 16, 20, 23, 28, 31, 36, 39, 42, 46, 51, 56, 62, 68, 75, 83. Did you see every single one was higher and higher and higher and higher? Well, that is consistency of profitability. Now, we looked yesterday. There's 10,000, and I think it was like 27. I think it was like 10,000. 10,027 different companies out there. Why are you looking at companies that aren't consistently profitable? Now, you can invest your money anywhere you want. It's your right. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay, but what I'm doing, a company that is consistently profitable, if it's not consistently profitable, no thanks. So who are they? Dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders, Warren Buffett's list, and there's a few others on top of that. But that's about 300 that have consistently increased their profits year after year after year after year. Okay, Richard, we already looked at Coca-Cola. Ashley says AT&T went up. It did. Now, I'm not going to do AT&T because it's at the high of the year. Okay, I don't. When have you ever heard anybody say, hey, Ashley, AT&T is at the high of the year. It's never been here before. Let's buy some and wait for it to go higher. Usually people say buy low, sell high. Well, what do they mean by that? Well, look over here. About a month and a half ago, she went up, she pulled back. Here's a perfect place to jump in. She went up, she pulled back. Here's a perfect place to jump in. And then she just went up. Okay. I don't buy at the highs. It doesn't make sense to me. Because AT&T is going to get to a certain point, and then they're going to have profit taking, and then the stock's going to drop. It's going to do this thing. Going to drop. People are going to jump in. Then it goes up again. Then it's going to drop, and then it's going to go up again, and then it's going to drop. Okay? They all do the exact same thing over and over and over again. That's so much better than the tea, but it doesn't help my throat out any. Makes it worse. McDonald's went up. Oh, I actually have some McDonald's. Let's take a look. It did. Ooh la la. Okay, anyway. High, low, where was it? Where is it? What's the motion? Down, up, sideways, down, up. Okay, 318. The 318, 317.50 is going for $5. That's over 1.5%. Well, 1.5% per year is like 75% per year. Sorry, 1.5% per week. But anyway, let's keep on going. TGX, we looked at that one. All right, so a year ago, Mickey D's is at $276.99. The bottom of the year was in July, and that was $243.53. That was the first week of July. Now from there, she shoots up, goes sideways. Look at the last 90 days. Same thing. You ready? Okay, mentally count. Okay, I'm gonna release this. Then mentally count high, low, was, is, What's the motion? It should take you 3 to 4 seconds. That's it. You ready? High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Down, up, sideways, down, up. Come on. 3 or 4 seconds. That's all it was. Okay? That's the high. You can't not admit it because it's the high. It is what it is. There's the high. Here's the low. That's where it was, and this is where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, sideways, up, down, up. Okay. It is what it is. How do you read it? Well, it depends on where you jumped in. Okay, this is the last 30 days. Okay, the last 1 month, the last 30 days. Up, down, up. Okay. Can it keep going up? Well, it can, because the high is up here. Okay, 126, way up here. Well, right now it's at 118. It's still got $8 more to go. Well, I'm only looking for 1%. What's 1% of 318? That's $3. That's all it is. So if I buy it at 318, I want to sell the 317.50, pick up that $5, and if it's over 317.50, I'm out and I get all my money back and I get to collect the premium. Well, that's what I'm looking for. I don't care if the stock goes up. Isn't that weird? I don't care if it goes up. As long as it is above 317.50, because that's the closest strike price right there. 317.50. I'm going to collect $5. And if it's above 317.50 come Friday afternoon, next Friday, I get all my money back plus the dip, plus the premium. Okay? So let's keep on. Holy shit, it's 11:20. All right, no more stocks. We got 97 questions. Holy shit. Let's do this. All right. What time frame do you look at? Look at the 1-year chart, the 90-day chart, the 30-day chart. Then I look at the seasonality chart. It tells me what does it normally do this time of year. All right, my throat's getting a little sore. Much better. Louis Fee is not... Louis Fee, we are not discussing politics. We're discussing... Okay, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I don't like politics. Isn't right Bitcoin mining stock? You're absolutely right, Jeremy. Is this on your website? Yes, it is on my website. Aw, James, I knew you were wealthy. It depends on how... Trolls, yeah. Gotta love trolls. Because see, Lisa, I appreciate you sticking up for me. I really do. Okay? Now, I have a philosophy. If I don't have enough trolls, I'm not working hard enough. I welcome the trolls. I like to hear what they have to say. Because it's kind of interesting to see how other people think so that I can find a better way of addressing their negativity. Thank you, John. Thank you. Take your politics out of the way. I have no care. I have no idea. You look like a Carmella supporter. Oh my goodness. You're definitely new here, dude. I could care, honestly, I could care less Democrat, Republican. I am a common senser. Common sense. Okay? Up, down, left, right, wet, dry, cold, hot, blue, red, green, yellow. Yeah, I could care less who sits in the big chair. Seriously. I'm for common sense. If it makes sense, okay, fine. Talk to me like I'm a 3-year-old. Make it make sense as if you were talking to me as a 3-year-old. Okay? If you come into the country illegally, you need to get your ass thrown out. That's what illegally means. You do something wrong, you pay the consequences. Okay? Common sense it shouldn't be called common sense because most people don't have it when it comes to politics. Politics because it's frustrating. What? He looks like an old white lesbian. I could say something that comes to my mind, but that's a terrible thing to say. You should be a congressman. You can inside... I wouldn't do it. Okay, see. I'm one of the few. I'm a Gen Xer. So we don't do those kind of things. We call it like it is. No safe spaces. We don't care about your feelings. There's no participation trophy. You don't like it, let's go outside, okay? None of this BS shit. So let's stop with the politics and just go with the questions, okay? McDonald's is one company I'm looking forward to making money in because I have eaten a lot at that place. Okay. Matt, James, what if a person doesn't have a lot of money to invest in the markets? What would you say to them? Matt, what I would say to them is consistency is more important than the amount of money you have. Because whether you have $5, $10, $15, $100, if you're investing consistently, even at 1%, even at 0.5%, eventually the interest will compound to a point where you don't have to work anymore. Okay? As you see it grows, if you can see it in your mind, if you can see it growing 1% every single, see, at 1% a week, you can double your money every 14 months. That's without adding anything. Okay, so if you're getting 1% every single week and you're adding something to it, it will snowball a lot faster. That's why it created that compound interest calculator. Because if you start out with $1,000, $500, $10,000, whatever it is, if you start out with that amount and you see what 1% will get you every week, okay, great. Well, stop getting Starbucks. Take that $2 or $3 you spend a day at Starbucks and put it into your trading account. So now you're putting in $8 every single week, $9 every week. Well, how long is it going to take for that to grow into something interesting? Okay, what you put into your trading account will come back to you in the long run. And don't kid yourself. You're all going to retire at some point in time, and the money has to come from somewhere. And you got two choices. And do not think you're special. Ain't none of you out there special. You got two choices and only two. When it comes to your money, you invest it yourself, take responsibility, or you give it to someone else and you let them do it for you. Put it into an ETF. Let the computer make the money for you. Okay? Give it to a money manager. Let him do it for you. But I can guarantee you one thing, with 99.9% accuracy, nobody has more interest in your money than you do. So if you give up responsibility, you give it to someone else, then you're at their mercy. Okay? Not many people out there care more about your money than you do. Anyway, let's continue. You'll be as rich as Nancy Pelosi. Ah, please don't put me and that person in the same category, please. Black Clover, D&D, how are you today? Hello, sir. How are you? I am wonderful. If you want YouTube manager, okay, freelance, you actually got to be here a little bit more than you have been, all right? I don't give that kind of authority to people who just show up once or twice. Okay, there are people over on TikTok that keep coming after years. You know? All right. Let's keep on going. Hey, none. Cool beans. That was nifty. I've never seen that before. Rocky, what's happening? Jenny V. Okay, Jenny V. Come check with me again on Verizon. Now, tonight's Thursday night. I don't do Friday nights anymore, and I don't do Saturday nights anymore. Last year, I was on every single night. 360 days I did last year. Every night, 9 p.m., 360 days. I missed 5 days. Okay, one day I was sick as a dog, couldn't do it. Okay, give me a break. Sick one day out of the year, yeah. Another day, I had to take someone to the emergency room. No choice in the matter there. And 3 days, I missed 4 days during the hurricane last year. For those of you living in your own little bubble, okay, there was a hurricane that came right through St. Petersburg last year. No water, no electricity, no internet, no cable, no telephone, nothing for 3 days, 4 days. Didn't bother me a bit. I'm a Gen Xer. You can put us out in the woods and we'll be fine. I was fine. I was all set, good to go. But that's not the case. The case is I couldn't get online. And I was okay with that. But I did lose, I think, $3,500 because I couldn't get online. It is what it is. Don't play the game unless you're ready to play the game. All right. World You Want to Live In Girl, N-E-E. Nextera, we'll have to take a look at it on Monday. Okay, Blue Rhapsody. Okay, McDonald's, we already looked at that. Legend, yep, mostly everything dropped, but it is an anomaly. It's one of those things that doesn't happen all the time. Chandler, hey, I have an economics class. Oh, what's that? Okay, economics class, and our teacher gave us check Palantir. Yeah, You can tell your teacher he has shiny object syndrome. Okay, seriously, Chandler, take a, oh, you know what? Hell, let's do this. I hate that when teachers do that crap. Palantir, really? PLTR. All right, I'm gonna put my glasses on for this one. All right, PLTR. Okay, $83.60 a share. All right, well, let's take a look at how profitable they are. Well, we can't tell because they don't have any dividends, which means they don't share their profits, which means you got to go in and look at all of the annual reports to see if they're profitable or not. Yeah, I don't want to do that. If they're not sharing their profits, I want nothing to do with them. But you asked, so let's take a look. Statistics for Palantir. Okay, check this out. Are you ready? Okay, $83.95 a share. That's what you're paying per share. That's 84 bucks. Let's call it 84 bucks. Look at the revenue, 2.87 billion. But look at the revenue per share, $1.27. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm paying $84 for a share and they're only bringing in $1.27. Now, the reason I'm showing you this, I want you to write it down because I'm going to show you something else for you to compare it to. Okay? So, $1.27 per share revenue. That's cash coming into the company. Okay, hold on. Book value per share, $2.14. Do you know what that means? That means if you pay off all your debts, everybody you owe money to, and you pay back all your investors, sell everything, okay? Sell everything, liquidate the company. What are you getting? You liquidate the company, you are getting $2.14 per share. So you're buying a company that's only worth $2.14 for 84 bucks a share. Now, the reason why I'm showing you that, okay, Chandler, hold on a second. Now, Palantir is not 100 years old. I have no idea how old they are. I honestly could care less because they're not even in the same grouping of no, I wouldn't do it. That's me. Hold on. Okay, and we're going to compare it to General Motors. Now, you know who General Motors is and you know what they do. They've been around for over 100 years. 100 years they've been around. I think they're going to be around a little bit longer. But let's take a look at the facts. Facts. I love facts. $45.90 per share. That's what it cost. Okay? So let's go down a little bit. Revenue per share. $168 per share. So you're buying a stock for 46 bucks. And that stock is generating $168 per share. Well, that's fucking nice. Hold on, it gets better. Come down a little bit further. Okay, the book value per share, $63 per share. Okay, 63. So you're buying a company stock, General Motors, for 46 bucks, and it's actually worth $63. Well, that's a freaking deal. And they actually share their profits. They take the profits and give them back to you every quarter. Okay, Palantir doesn't. Okay, it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for capital growth, that means they take all the profits, put it back into the company and let it grow. You get nothing but a wish and a prayer. Okay, a wish and a prayer means you're putting your money in and you're hoping it goes higher. That's all you're getting out of Palantir. And it's not even 50 years old yet. I have no idea how old they are. Okay, General Motors has been around for 100 years. They've seen World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam's the Great Depression, the stock market crash of 29, the stock market crash of 87, the dot-com crash in 2000, the Y2 crash, the 2008 financial crash, the 2021 jabby crash. They've seen all that crap. And they still share their profits. The numbers don't lie. Look at the numbers yourself. Okay, Palantir, yeah, no thanks. It's okay for what it is. Okay, I'm a cash flow investor. I want cash flow. 1% a week comes to over 50% per year. Now, I'm pretty damn sure Palantir hasn't done 50% per year for the last 15 years. Dave Lopez, love Coles. We'll have to look at it tomorrow, which would be Sunday. XRP is not a dividend stock. Intel, Brian, we'll take a look at Intel a little bit later. Singh, take a look at that. Coca-Cola later. Procter & Gamble, love it. AT&T, Verizon, all went up. Yep, gotta love it. PM, what is that? Philip Morris went up. Cool beans. All right. Kraft Heinz, cool, I love it. Staples, I have no idea about Staples. Kohl's got destroyed. Ouch. Ouch. We actually looked at deep dive into Kohl's last week. I get no problem holding on to it. Do I own General Mills? No. Now, Totus, your idea of long-term and my idea of long-term, I can almost guarantee you two different things. My idea of long-term is 30 days. That's long-term for me. Kraft Heinz was up. Johnson & Johnson up. Cool. MTZ, cool. Apple, cool. We'll take a look at it later. Okay, who? Hormel, Intel, Verizon, Hershey, AT&T, Altria, Tractor Supply. We'll take a look at them next time. Clam shorts, we already looked at. Misty. We already looked at Altria. Have you ever invested in a bank? Yep. Wells Fargo, Bank of America. What else? There's a few other ones. TD Bank. There's a few other ones. Citigroup or Citibank. Jared Knotts, Thailand. I have no idea what that means. Where to retire to? Philippines or Thailand? Ooh. I haven't been to either one, so I couldn't, Holy shit, it's Jim Cramer. Tanner, no, it ain't. Pepsi went up to date. Okay. Appreciate you. Thank you, Tanner. Fishing. Never traded on my own. How do I begin? Well, first and foremost, fishing, you got to mentally prepare yourself because it's a whole, what I do is totally different than anyone else does, from what I understand. I haven't seen anybody doing what I do. Okay, world you want to live in, girl? Clorox is up, cool beans. But fishing, come back every night. I'm here every night, except for Friday night and except for Saturday night. David, Costco went up, cool. Dollar General went up. Dell, I don't think Dell went up. The run up is on volume, though. It signals high conviction. Okay. Remember, Totus, I created this for a 13-year-old. Now, Totus, 13%. I'm not quite sure what you mean by 13%. Holy shit, I got 100 questions. Why are options premium so small? They're not small. How much can you make with these 1% flips? Well, let me see if I explain it to you, Sam. Okay, 1%. Now, I showed you earlier. Okay, I showed you my accounts, my 3 accounts. Now, I have 7. I only share 3 of them. All right. Week 12. First quarter, March 17th to 21st. Oh, that was a crappy week. Is that imagine that? I pulled a crappy week. This is my worst week of the whole quarter. Okay, this account here only made $800 that week. Here only made $1,100 that week. Okay, over here I made $3,300 that week. 1%, $3,300, $1,100, $800. That's week number 12. Okay, week 13. 2,600, 2,200, 4,900. Oops. End of the quarter. Okay, account 1 began with 151. Now we're up to 204, 38%. First quarter. Account number 2, 26%. Account number 3, 44%. Just for the first quarter. First January, February, March. That's it. Look, that's freaking, I've never done that before. Never. 44% in 13 weeks. That's crazy. 26, 38. Those are crazy numbers. Most people don't get that for a year. I got that January, February, March. Okay, all the trades are there. Add them up yourself. So how much can you make 1%? It depends on what you're starting out with. Okay, 1% of 100,000 is $1,000 a week. 1% of a million, it's $10,000 a week. Okay, so let's get out of that. Hope that answers that question for you, Sam. Anna, should you invest in Tesla? I'm new to this. Okay, Anna, now, I don't do Tesla. They do not have dividends, which means they do not share the profits. Only play what you can afford to lose. Okay, Totus, I'm going to disagree with you. Okay, I can't afford to lose anything. So, Totus, if I lose, I have to go back to work. Okay? Now, I've been working since 1973. My first job, I was in elementary school. Old Man Simmons Farm. Okay? Shucking corn, doing firewood, picking pumpkins, stringing tomatoes. Yeah, it was not fun for an elementary school kid. All right? Not really your thing, but your thoughts on playing 2 to 3 year leaps versus underlying stock. Okay, TD, if you can show me some examples of some of your 2 or 3 year leaps. So a 2 year leap, I would make 100% rate of return. Okay, 3 year leap, that would be at least a minimum of 175 to 200% return. I don't really see that happening. Dell is down 33 since January. Yeah, okay. Buddy is panicking. I have no idea who Buddy is. Why would you have multiple portfolios? Garrick, I don't trust the government. That's my reasoning. That's why they call it Wall Street Casino. Davidson, I look familiar. Thank you. I'm not quite sure why. Where? Missed that. Back over here. There's questions. All right, DNet, we already looked at that one. Robinhood, we looked at that one. WA, no idea what that is. DNet, let's take a look tomorrow. B-Rad Wild, yeah. Spiders, yeah, you better take a good look at the numbers, dude. Nah, trade options. I have no idea what that means, Tacoma. Taco Fluff, what up? What up with you, dude? All right, Walking Truth, Cool Beans, Foxy, good evening. Michael Hillman, hope you're doing well. I'm doing wonderful. It's Friday night for me. Kinda, because I don't have to work tomorrow night. Not caught. Joey V, a couple of million is nothing. For some people it is. How much commission does Schwab charge for covered calls? I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. Now, the reason why I say I don't pay attention to that, because I've been a business owner. I've been an employee and I've been an employer. So as an employee, most people have no clue what it is to run a business. But as an employer who used to be an employee, we look at things totally different. Okay? So when I say I don't pay attention to commissions, well, that's because I know that is a cost of doing business. That there's no way around it. So it is what it is, and I just deal with it. Okay? Now, I look for the services as opposed to the commissions and the fees. J-Jack, what's happening? I'm ready. I don't know what you're ready for, J-Jack, but okay. Sir, do you use technical analysis? Yes, but not the way you think. What a great way to collect dividends. All right, Mr. Sunshine, I appreciate your enthusiasm. I do, but you weren't quite listening. I'm not looking to collect the dividends. I'm looking to collect the premiums because the premiums are usually always higher than the dividends. And the premiums, unlike the dividends, see, the dividends are available once every 90 days, but the premiums are available every single week. 75 Corvette, holder of record on the day before the EX date is all you need. Yep, absolutely right. Can you sell on the day of record and still collect the dividend? No. You have to go through what is called settlements. You have to buy it before the EX date and hold it through the date of record. You can sell it after the date of record. Haas often. How long can you hold a day trade? If I bought at 12 and don't want to sell at 13, well, it takes 3 days to. Well, you have to hold past settlement, which is usually, you can buy and sell within 2 seconds. I can buy now, and 2 seconds later I can sell it. But if you're looking to capture the dividend, see, your question doesn't give me enough details to answer it effectively for my satisfaction. I don't know if I answered it for your satisfaction. For my satisfaction, I'd like to have a little bit more details because I want to get to know what it is you're trying to get out of it. Okay. 75 Corvette. However, the price could drop, then you hold it until you reach your target price again. Yep, absolutely right. Thank you, Corvette. That was nice of you. Eric Land, good evening. House Offid, how long can you hold? Already did that one. I have 100,000 Canadian, which I would like to invest in. What do I put my money in, please? Okay, Rio 123. I'd love to be able to help you out. Unfortunately, I know nothing at all about you, and giving you advice would be a disservice, not knowing what it is you're trying to do. Okay? Start fresh. Why not start the trade strategy by selling a put and convert it to covered call if it's a sign? Yeah, that's called the wheel strategy. Nothing wrong with that at all. But here's the thing. Start fresh. I give away one trading strategy for free. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. I'm here on my own volition or my own satisfaction for contributing. Okay, I want to contribute. I want to share with people who don't know what I know, because I don't want to go to my grave knowing everything I know. And I'm creating a digital video log for my children and my grandchildren. So hopefully when I'm gone 20, 30 years ago, 20, 30 years from now, hi guys, how you doing? Papa G here, yay. Okay, every once in a while I throw them a little message like that. So in 20, 30 years, when my grandchildren are watching these videos, oh, so that's what Papa G was doing. Because the stock market's been around for over 400 years. I'm not delusional thinking that when I'm gone, it's going to disappear. And all the knowledge that I have, I'd like to pass on to my children and grandchildren. Although my grandson's only 5 at the moment, in 15 years, he can come take a look. Oh, Papa G, that's what you're doing. Are you on a 5-minute? Absolutely not. I look at after day trading. Okay, so this is end of day trading. End of day data. It gives me the opening of the day, the close of the day, the high of the day, the low of the day, and how much volume. Because I have better things to do than sit in front of my computer looking at a 5-minute chart watching movements. No, I don't do that. I have better things to do. Okay, as you get older, okay, the older you'll get, you realize that money comes and goes. But what is your most valuable asset? It's not your money, it's your time. Because most people will give up their health to create money. And then at the end of their life, they'll take all that money and try to fix their health. Yeah, money comes and goes. Knowledge stays forever. Hello, Red Tank 88. Do you consider tariffs as a black swan event? Interesting way of looking at it. No. Can you say that selling covered calls, you want the price of the shares not to go up so much, go up a small amount? Yeah, I'd like them to go up a little bit or go sideways. I don't want them to go down, but if they do, I'm prepared for that. Okay, Lonnie, I'm paying off debts of the first 5. Okay. Red Tank. But your portfolio went from 200,000 to 160. All right, Red Tank, I'm not quite sure what you mean. You're looking at the unrealized losses. Okay, you understand what an unrealized loss is. If I buy a stock for $100 and it drops down to 50, and I never sell it, all right, hold on a second. If I buy 100 shares of what do we look at? Mickey D's. Oh, here's Mickey D's. If I buy 100 shares of McDonald's at $3.17, and I collect, let's say, $1 per share dividend, okay, every single quarter. If the stock drops down to, let's say, $200, I still own 100 shares. I still get the dividend. I still get the cash flow. If I sell a covered call against it, Even though it's at 317 now, I can bring in $5 per share. As the stock drops, the valuation of the shares drop, but I still own the shares. I'm not concerned about the dollar value of the shares. I'm concerned of how many shares I own and how many of these premiums I can collect. So if the stock drops down to 150, 50% drop, and I'm still bringing in 1% every week because I still own 100 shares. You don't lose money until you sell, okay? So when you say the portfolio went from 200 to 160, great. The valuation went down. But do I still own the same amount of stocks at 200 as I do at 160? And out of all those shares, what income did I have coming in? So let's go back to here. Okay, week one. Here we go. Week one, okay? You can count up each one of these credits. See? Credit. That's how much money I had coming in week number one. Okay? $9,341 or 6.19%. Okay, week two, $3,700, 2.3. Week three, $7,900, 4.8. Week four, $3,900, 2.3. Week five, $6,700. Week six, $5,300. Week seven, $2,700. Week eight, $4,200. Week nine, $8,100. Week 10, $7,900. So on and forth. So just because the stocks are going down, does the income go down? No, it's still more than 1% every single week. And it's not just 1%, it's 1% of what I have. Okay, so as the income keeps coming in, yeah, so the value goes down. So what? Every single week, I'm getting the cash flow. I don't care what the stocks do, as long as I have the same amount of shares at 200 as I do at 160. Because if I can get $1 per share at 200,000, I can still get $1 per share at 160,000. The same amount of income is coming in. So I don't really care about the valuation. I care about the cash flow. All right, I'm retired. I don't care about. All right, let's just move on. Could you say what you're rolling to FL this week? No, because this week ends tomorrow. Okay, Monday we're going to take a look at it again. How much will Riot go up to 27? All right, Christian Jerk. I don't know that one. Speed to Spare. How are you doing? Older Rob Dirt Deck. I have no idea who that is. Messenger of who? Cool. Apple, cool. Take a look at that next time. Donut, we'll have to take a look at that next time. Everything down, dude. Nope, not everything. RBS. Scott, oh, that's Royal Bank, isn't it? RBS? Well, let's take a look at it next time. Okay, we're way past 11:30. I think you're sharp. Thank you, Left Guard. I love your system, but you're not better than Buffett. Nobody is. Okay. Now, I'm kind of curious. Okay. Now, I understand what you're saying. Now, Buffett has at his disposal a hell of a lot more money than I do. But what is his rate of return on a consistency basis? What's Apache symbol? APA. Moose, 30-1. Okay. Housed Ofted, creator, cool. Mortgage Magician, back again. Haven't seen you in a while, Mortgage Magician. How you doing? Yes, I still have my calls. Intel went up also. Yep. Thank you. Black Pilot's Corner, good evening. Bones, AT&T. Is a tariff safety plate? Yeah, they're a telephone company. They don't import anything. Thoughts on Meta? Yeah, no thank you. Meta only has not even 1 year of dividends. Okay, now dividend is a portion of the profits companies give back to the investors. That's their profitability. If the profitability increases, great. Meta, no thank you. Yep, Bones, McDonald's is a tariff safety play too. Yeah, they don't import anything from overseas, I don't think. UNP, Union Pacific, okay. Bones, rumors they were working with Taiwan. Okay. I'm him, follow, cool. Mike Moscato, good evening. Walking Truth, good evening. Uh-oh, we're getting close to the end. Pat Dan Mac, how are you today? Jules Z, what's happening? Walking Truth, Generation Rock, 69. Hey, I'm Generation X, 64. Rebecca, how you doing? La La Lu, good evening to you. Christian NRG, good evening. David, how you doing? Peter, when that stock drops 20% a day, like many did today, how's that dividend holding up for you? Okay. Polar vortex. Let me ask you a question. Because, I like people like you who have a negative look on things. It sounds like it from there. All right, that's Mickey D's. All right, this is Mickey D's. Okay. Now, Mickey D's does have a dividend, correct? Now, they have a dividend that increases every single year. So here's my question for you. Now, hypothetically speaking, if I buy McDonald's at $250 a share down here, this is the low of the year, $250 a year, $250 per share. Let's say I buy 1,000 shares. That entitles me to 1,000 dividends. If the dividend's 25 cents, that's $2,500. Okay, great. Now, if the stock goes from 225 to 318 where it is right now, still the exact same 1,000 shares, the exact same dividend, 25 cents, what dividend am I receiving then? 25 cents a share, $2,500. Is it any different than here to here? No difference whatsoever. If I'm collecting 1% here, I'm collecting 1% there, 1% is 1% no matter how you look at it. If I'm getting a dividend at 250, I'm getting the exact same dividend at 319. It doesn't change at all. Let's switch. That phone's getting low on juice. Okay. So, polar vortex. Even if the stock drops, look, the high of the year, 318. The low of the year, 250. So from 318 to 250, that is a $70 drop. $70 drop. That's 20%. A 20% drop from the high to the low. That's a big drop. But do the amount of dividends change? No. If I bought it at 250, I'm getting 25 cents a share. If I bought it at 318, I'm getting 25 cents a share. Okay, what you're saying doesn't make sense in the long run for what I am looking for. I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Even though I do have some stocks that have dropped 50% from what I bought them at, I'm still bringing in over $1,000 a week on a $100,000 account. That's still 1%, even though the stocks have dropped 50% in value. I'm still bringing in 1% a week. So if it drops 20%, well, that's a lot less than 50. I got, I think I got Kohl's at 22, and it's at $8. I bought it at 22, and it's $8. I'm still getting 1% return, even at $8. Okay, so what you're saying makes sense to you with the way you invest. Okay, it doesn't make sense to me for the way I invest. So if I have $100,000 in my account, I want $1,000 a week. That is 1% per week. Okay, so if I bought $100,000 of AT&T and it dropped 20%, even though it dropped 20%, if I'm still bringing in $1,000 a week, I'm still gaining $1,000 a week, 1% per week. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, and it probably makes sense to you. but it doesn't equate to what I'm doing. And if you got a problem with what I'm doing, just take a look at the numbers, because numbers don't lie. You can take a look at any single week, open it up, okay? Intel, I bought it at 20, I sold the 20s, picked up 77 cents. 77 cents on a $20 stock is over 3%. Okay, that trade right there got me 3%. You don't believe me? Here's the timestamp right there. It tells you exactly what the trade is. It tells you how much I made. And it tells you exactly what the debit was right there, what the credit was. 77 cents on a $20 stock is over 3%. And then right here, okay, Macy's, March 21, the $14 call. I bought it for 6 cents, sold it for 22. I walked away with 16. Now 16 is more than 1% of 14. That's more than 1%. Same thing here. Okay, the $20 call on Intel, $20 call, I got 32 cents a share. That's more than 1.5%. Okay, even though the stock is lower than what I paid for it, I'm still making over 1% a week. And I don't know why some people, such as yourself, don't get it. All right, let's keep on going. Question, holy shit, we're at 12 o'clock. High dividend often means the stock has major problems. You're absolutely right. Most of these stocks I buy don't have high dividends. They have average dividends. Oh, Zyrus. Hello, I have been following you for some time. May I please send you a DM? Absolutely. Vegas Nights, good evening. Apple, shit, 47 more questions. Let's see if we can get through these. None, good evening. David G, good evening. Brian Spence, bro, Coles. Yep, I still own my Coles. What to invest 10,000 in for retirement? U.S. Lucian. Okay, U.S. Lucian, I have no idea who you are. I know absolutely nothing about you. For me to tell you to buy something would be doing you a disservice because I know nothing at all about you. Okay, I have no idea what your goals are. I have no idea what your risk factors are. That's the word I was looking at. Risk factors. Oh, talking so much. I'm not used to talking all this time. Quantum Antenna, good evening. I don't do blockchain, absolutely right. Brian Spence, love Macy's, I love Apple. Hello from Brandon. Brian, are you in Brandon, Florida? If you're in Brandon, Florida, we should hook up and do some lunch. I'll even let you buy. Anyway, Teo, what's, uh-oh. Wow, credible. William McKinney says hello again. Alrighty, Brian Spence. He's stuck on down 20% in 6 months on M. Yeah, but I'm still making over 1% on M every single week, so I'm not quite sure what your problem is. Is it guaranteed you'll make 1% on selling the call? The problem is if the stock goes way down. Okay, Brian said, I never said anything about any guarantees. There's only 3 guarantees in life. Are you ready? Most people know 2 of them. A lot of people don't know the third. Well, you know it when I tell it to you. You ready? 3 guarantees in life. Death, taxes, and disappointment. Okay? Thank you there, Corvette. Brian Spence, what social media is he answering questions from? All right, well, I got Facebook over here, Instagram there, TikTok here, YouTube over there, and another TikTok here, and another YouTube down here, and I have Rumble and, what's that other one? Twitch. I get no one from Twitch. I should get rid of Twitch. You paid 35 cents on Schwab. Okay. Crypto Psycho, cool beans. He uses the dividend history to dictate which stocks he likes to invest in. Thank you there, Corvette. Can you please explain premium? Yeah. A premium is an insurance payment. Because a lot of people don't know this, but call options and put options are actually insurance policies. Okay? An insurance policy just like your homeowner's insurance, just like your car insurance, just like your health insurance. A premium is what you pay or what you collect for a contract. And what's the contract on your car? Well, if you smash it, somebody will replace it, and all that kind of nice, neat stuff. Yeah, homeowners insurance, same thing. If the house burns down, they'll rebuild it, whatever. Well, stock market insurance, it was originally intended for people not to lose money. So if you had a stock, let's say IBM, and you bought it at 160, and you didn't want to lose money, well, you'd buy a put. So if the stock dropped, the value of the put would go up, and you wouldn't lose any money. That's what they were originally intended for. The premium, well, these ones you pay on a weekly basis or you collect on a weekly basis. Okay? That will depend on how long you've been with them, perhaps. Okay. Hated oatmeal. Can I hear your thoughts on tariffs? You don't want my thoughts on tariffs. Okay? Seriously, you don't. Okay? My thoughts on tariffs. Are you ready? Quick, simple, here you go. Stop buying shit not built in the United States. You don't want to pay a tariff? Great. Buy stuff that's made in America. Plain and simple. Okay? Are we holding or selling here? Good question. Palantir is good for option day trade. Okay, I'll agree with you there. Selling covered calls. Beastie, what's happening? Bones, why not go to a penny below what you sold the call for? I have to do some research on that one. Okay, so Bones. The way I look at it, Bones. Now, I'm what you call a Generation X. Okay, if it works, don't mess with it. That's it. If it works, leave it alone. You can't be making money with this strategy after this week. Oh, Monroe, I would love to have a personal chat with you because apparently you don't listen and apparently you don't believe what you see. Okay, so week 13, which was, oh, better yet, hold that thought. Okay, let's get my glasses out. Let's look at this one right here. Okay, let's go to there. Let's get out of here. Let's go to here. Let's go right here. And let's go to, what's this week? This week is April, okay? March 31st to April 4th, right there, okay? All right, so if you look closely, okay, who said that? Monroe, New Jersey Talk. Okay, so Monroe, New Jersey Talk. Take a look right here. March 31st, that was Monday. March 31st, Monday. March 31st, Monday. March 31st, Monday. March 31st, Monday. April 1st, Tuesday. April 1st, Tuesday. April 1st, Tuesday. April 1st, Tuesday. April 2nd, Wednesday. Okay, so 20-cent credit, 22 calls. So you do the math. That's $440. Ford 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. Oh, 74, 86. Holy shit, that was a lot. Okay. All at 131 credit. All right, so take 86 and multiply it by 131 because that's $131 per contract or $1.31 per share. Each contract has 100 shares. So one contract, 131, that's $131. Okay, we'll count them all up. Ford, 13, 14, 13, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Look at this. 63, Ford, 131. Add them all up. That's a big freaking chunk of money. All right, well, let's do it for the fun of it. 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 86, 87, 87, 100. All right, so there's 100 contracts on Ford at 131. So what is 100 contracts? Well, that's 10,000 shares. Okay, 10,000 shares at $1.31 per share. So let's do the math. What the hell? Okay, let's go. Oops. Okay, $1.31 multiplied by 10,000 shares or 100 contracts. That one trade alone on Ford. Okay, let's get out of here for a second. Wait. Right there. Ford right here. Right click, view trades right there. Okay. 1,000 shares, all these contracts at 199 per share. That's a lot of freaking money. $13,000 just on Ford alone. And what do I have into Ford? I get 56,000 into Ford. And I just made 13,000 this week. So don't tell me that I'm not making money every single week. All the trades are right there. Okay, I don't hide anything from anyone. Okay, so that's Ford. All right, look at U.S. Steel. Only one contract at U.S. Steel. Coles, look at them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 8. That's $40. That's nothing big. Riley, 20, 80. 80 times 4, that's 320. It's not that much. 30 times 8, that's another 320. What is it? How much did I make that freaking week? I don't even know. But it's over 1%. Okay, so I have whatever. I'm not going to, entertain every single thought everybody has. But yeah, Bones. Wasn't Bones. Who was that? Monroe. Yeah, Monroe. I'm making plenty. Trust me. Crypto fishing. Keith Amos, how are you doing? Look at pizza. Yeah, no. Brittany Nicole, how are you doing today? Are you AI? No, not at all. Unlimited, who's paying you 1% a week? Well, that's an interesting question. Who's paying me 1% a week? Let's look. Riley, Harley Davidson, Kohl's, Ford, Macy's. That's that week. Who else? Harley Davidson, Riot, ASO, Foot Locker, Kohl's, Mara, ASO, Intel, and who do we have over here? Advanced Auto Parts, Kohl's, Riot, Kohl's, Macy's, U.S. Steel, Riley, Halliburton, U.S. Steel. Those are who are paying me over 1% every single week. Only been here a few minutes. This is already so helpful. Thank you very much. Brittany, good evening. I'm here every night, Brittany, except not on Friday nights and not on Saturday nights. Other than that, I'm here every night. Monroe, yeah, but you have to sell calls well below the strike price. This won't work. I love naysayers. I really do. Come back every week and tell me the exact same thing every week. I don't hide any of my trades. I show you each and every single trade I do. Okay, now, I have 0 losses since the beginning of the year. Okay, that's about 90 some odd days. Okay, from January 1st until today. I have 7 different accounts. I share 3 of them publicly. You can look at them all yourself. I don't hide anything. I have 0 losses. So don't tell me something you don't know, because you're new here and you don't know. And I understand that you don't know and you have a certain way of thinking, which is not your fault. It's just what people have been telling you for your whole life. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're willing to admit it or not, but you've been lied to for decades. And if you honestly believe what you've been told rather than what you see right in front of you, hey, more power to you. Initial investment, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you have to sell calls well below strike price. That won't work. Thank you very much for your confidence. Irish Queen, how you doing today? Rav, thoughts on Boeing? I have to do it next time, all right? Because I'm way past 11:30. I'm just finishing answering the questions. I answer each and every single question before the night is over. And I still got questions over on YouTube that I haven't gotten to yet. Okay, Joe Mitchell, Siggy, Void Echo, sounds like Altria. I like Altria, and I do have some. Okay, Monroe, New Jersey. Okay, Monroe, New Jersey, you know, I love your negativity, really do. If you really want to go one-on-one, more power to you. You know, bring it on. I'll bring you on live. I can take a look at every single one of your criticisms and prove you're wrong. If you're up for it. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Science Biz, Cole's under 7 now? Ooh, now I'm in it at 22, but I have no intention of selling it whatsoever. Cole's is not doing good right now. I'm aware of that. Bones, unless it goes up fast and you get called, then you lose the shares, take the loss on the initial. All right, Bones, I'm going to disagree with you, okay? Anytime a stock, now I look at my stocks twice a day. Once in the morning with my morning trading group and once with you guys at night. I have a good grasp on where my positions are. And I've been doing this long enough that very, very, very rarely do I ever get caught off guard. Want to build a snowman? Cool beans. What? Oh, this is what the modern day retail trader misses to understand. Thank you, Proven. Prove WXW, okay. Avoid echo. The cold never bothered me anyway. Yeah, it bothers me. That's why I'm in Florida for the winter and I go up to New England in the summer. Don't. Lucky Inflatable, good evening. Danny Minkle. How you doing, Danny? Risk tolerance. Hey, I'm going to agree with you 100%. David, hello. William Walter, good evening to you. Anna, is Robinhood app a reputable app to trade at? Yeah, I've been trading with Robinhood for about 3 years. And I love my Robinhood app. I can just click, 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 simple as easy. I love it. Now, it's not as detailed. Now, I do use Thinkorswim to find my trades. Once I find my trades on Thinkorswim, then I'll go to Robinhood. Like I said, I got 7 accounts. Robinhood is one of them. David, what's your thoughts on NULR? You have to ask me next time I'm on because I'm way past my quitting time. PLTR is good for option trade. Okay, we already did that one. And not really. Hollywood, I'll go on Twitch and follow you from there. Yeah, I'm thinking giving up on Twitch and moving on over to LinkedIn. COVID. Tariffs on input goods are higher demand for U.S. made goods. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to agree with that one. Apple, we already said yes. Danny, how you doing? Ample Woody, love my life Aria. Ooh, cool beans. User, Ant, thank you. Dr. Booth, tell how sell a weekly after U.S. stocks down a few bucks. Well, that's easy. All right, I'll give you a for instance. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of there. Let's go. Nope, right there. Let's look at Kohl's. Kohl's. All right, KSS. Kohl's. Look at that. Big drop. Okay, so Kohl's. All right. So I'm into Kohl's in this particular account at 1572. Okay. Now I can't sell the 15s because the 15s are worthless. So this week I sold the 9s. Well, now it's at 6. That 9's going to expire to worthless. But what did I bring in on the 9s? Okay. I brought in 15 cents, which is 1%. Okay. I bought it at 1572. Okay, my average price for the options that I sold are $14.91. Okay, I sold them at $14.91, which is close to 1%, not exactly 1%, but I do average one. But now they're worth 5 cents. So I sold them at $14.90, which is almost 15 cents. Right now they're worth 5. So I could buy them back at 5. So it's kind of like buying it for a nickel and selling it for 15 cents. So I tripled my money. Okay. N Niveria, okay, whatever. So does the technical pick the strike price that guarantees 1% and far enough from the actual price? Okay, I never mentioned anything about a guarantee. There's only 3 guarantees in life. We already did that. Tell how to sell weekly after the stock US fell down. Okay, so this week, okay, April 11th, which is next week, I sold the 9s, picked up almost 15.5 cents. Okay. Next week, okay, right here. Okay. Next week, the current stock price is 674. Now remember, I'm into it at 15. It's down to 674. That's a 50% drop. Am I panicking? No, because what am I going to do? I'm not going to sell it at 675. I'm not going to sell it at 7. I'll probably sell the 750s. But look what the 750s are selling for. 16 cents a share, 16 to 44. Well, what did I buy it for? I bought it for 15. Now, 16 to 44 is way more than 1% of 15. So what happens if the stock goes above 750? Well, I roll it forward and then I sell the 25. There's always an answer to whatever scenario pops up. If the stock drops, well, I roll it forward to another week and I look at the numbers. It always comes down to a math problem. What did I buy it for? What did I sell it for? How much am I making? The numbers don't change. Okay, when I buy a stock, okay, 1572, that's what I bought it for, 3,500 shares. Okay, at $16,000 into it. Okay, if I sell the 750s next week, pick up 16 cents a share. Let's get the calculator. This is a little smaller. Come on. Whoops, a little too small. Okay, so right here's the number. 16, the 750s. It's currently at 676. If I sell the 750s next week, 16 cents a share. Okay, point. Whoops, let's clear this. All right, that one's not working. Okay, 16 cents a share, right? Okay, the premium 16 cents a share, and I have 3,500 shares. Okay, 16 multiplied 35, multiplied 3,500 shares, comes to a grand total of 560 bucks. Okay, great, 560 bucks. All right, let's get rid of this. Okay, how much money do I have invested? I have $16,000 invested into 3,500 shares of Kohl's. All right, so find out what my rate of return is for that week. All right, 560 is my profit. Okay, and I get 16,000 invested. Okay, so I'm going to divide it by my investment, 16,415. How much does that come to? That comes to 3.4% for that week. So please tell me how I'm not making money on this, because the numbers are right there. 16,000 invested at 3,500 shares of Kohl's at $15.72. I'm selling someone the right to buy it from me at $7.50. Let's get rid of this thing. At $7.50, 17 April 25. That's 2 weeks away. Okay, 2 weeks away, I'm selling the 750 at 16 bucks, 3,500 shares. Okay, that's 560 bucks. Well, I only got 16,000 into it. Okay, that's over 3% just for that week. Okay, so don't tell me it can't be done, and don't tell me I'm not making money in this market, because I'm in it at 15, and currently it's at $6.75, which is more than a 50% drop. So the stock dropped 50%, but even though it dropped 50%, I'm still making 3% for the week. Okay, I'm basically done. How many more questions we got? We got 8 more. What call price do you sell Kohl's at now? I just told you. Okay, next week I'm going to sell the 750s. Rev, how can I join for some training with you, sir? Okay, now I promise I'm not going to sell anyone anything. Okay, if you come up to the top left corner, we see the bio. Okay, my home webpage is The10MinuteTrader. See, The10MinuteTrader.com. Live trading right there. That's how you can join me if you want to. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. You asked a question, I'm answering. That's as far as I'm going to go with it. Okay? This probably sounds familiar. Simple, safe, predictable, 1% per week. Live nightly training, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, that's where we are, right here, right now. All right, so let's go back, because I promised I wouldn't sell anything. All right? All right, next question. Freezing bad. Sorry about that. Quantum antenna, it's late. It is. I say I answer each and every individual question, and I still have some more questions to answer, so I'm going to answer all of them. All right? Larry Brown, how are you doing over there on Instagram? Woohoo! Larry, what's your target amount to have saved by 65? All right, Joel, I'm 61. I'm already retired. I'm not saving anymore. All my investments, all my money gives me a weekly cash flow of 1%. That 1% that I bring in every week pays my bills. It's not that I'm saving it up for anything. I'm living off of it. Dr. Booth, you're absolutely right. 3,500 shares at 15 is 52,000. But what is it on margin? Okay, now I got a 2-to-1 margin. So one of my dollars to every 2 of their dollars. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay. And that's it for these questions. Done on TikTok. So let's move on over to here. Walker, my wizard, no. Sir, do you use technical? Yes, I do. That's how I get my stocks. What if you buy the dip, but it keeps dropping? Keeps dipping. Okay, A1 stake. I don't buy dips. Okay? Okay, look, here's Kohl's. It drops right here. Here's the bottom of the year. Okay, it turns around, goes back up. As she turning around, 2 days to the upside is where I jump in. Okay, the third day after 2 days up. That's what I'm looking for. All right, technical wizard, thank you. Yes, service. Survive in the market this right. Okay, freelance, thank you. Lizardwood, okay. Nancy helps to create the levels that bounce off. Okay. Hurricane Irma, I remember, thank you. Markets crashed. Happens when your president decides to tariff every country besides Russia. All right, A1 stake, we're not doing software. It's a software company. It's overvalued, yes, but book value is useless for software companies. No, not really. Because whether you're a software company or whether you're a real estate company or whether you're a lawyer company, an attorney company, whatever company you are, there is a book value. There is an I owe you, you owe me book. All the assets, all the liabilities comes together, you get book value. No matter how you look at it, there is a value somewhere. Explain the super trend green. Okay, I have no idea what you mean by super trend green. What is the least amount you can start with? $5. Dell is down 20%. Okay. Randy, how are you doing? A dividend is taken out of the stock price, so if you're net down, you're still net down. Okay, A1 stake, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're incorrect. Okay, sorry. You can call it whatever you want. The very first dividend stock company was created in 1602, the VOC. Now, the VOC wanted to create one of the biggest trading companies there were. So they literally went door to door, knocked on the doors to the peasants. And they says, invest in our company and we promise to share the profits with you. Okay? The VOC, 1602, the very first dividend stock company. They shared their profits with the investors. That's where the dividend came from. Okay? Now, the VOC did run for 198 years and averaged 18% per year. So companies have two options. share the profits through dividends, or take all the profits, put it back into the company for capital growth. Okay? Okay, Pumpkin? You're from Arkansas, ain't you? No, I'm not. What about Kraft? I love Kraft, KHC. Thank you, Lisa, very much. I am very tired and have to be at work tomorrow. Sorry, kiddo. I'm sleeping in late. I feel bad. How do you say I'm a celery killer without saying celery killer? Oh, I don't know. It does matter if the stock drops. You're losing money, more money than the dividends you're getting. Okay, A1 Steak, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Okay? This is like the third time you've been wrong. If I buy a stock for $100 and it drops to 50 and I don't sell it, did I lose anything? No. Do I still collect the dividends that the company pays out? Yep. If I wanted to sell a covered call against it, can I? Yep. So what am I losing? Absolutely nothing. If I refuse to sell at a loss, it's not a loss. It's called an unrealized gain. That's like going to see the sunrise with your eyes closed. Did the sun rise? Yeah. Did you see it? No. You had your eyes closed. Okay, so let's not get into semantics. Okay, I've been doing this long enough that people like you entertain me. Thank you for that. How's it going, James? Silver Wolf, how are you today? The only thing that matters is the total number in your portfolio. Again, you're on a roll. Fourth one in a row. You're wrong. Unfortunately, it's awesome. I love it. 4 times in a row. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. Cash flow. How much cash is your account bringing in every single week? Okay, it may be different for you, but for me, what matters to me is weekly cash flow. Okay, now you've seen my weekly cash flow. I share it freely. I get 7 accounts. I share 3 of them publicly. Okay, you can see what cash flow I bring in every single week. If it's a $100,000 account and I bring in $1,000, that's 1%. Guess what? The stocks could drop 50%, but if I'm still bringing in $1,000, even with a 50% valuation, that's still 1%, dude. Okay, $1,000 a week is $1,000 a week. On a $100,000 account, that's 1% a week. We can argue all night long. I can show you the numbers. But if you're looking with your eyes closed, you ain't going to see shit. Sorry, dude. Whether it comes in from dividends or from stock appreciation. Okay, Silver Wolf. Have a good night. Any buy dip people? There are a lot of those people out there. Kurt Miller. I have $5,000 to invest right now. What should I buy? Kurt, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everybody else who asks me that question. I know nothing about you. I cannot, in good conscience, tell you anything without having a conversation with you. Sorry. And if you want to have a conversation, drop me a DM with your number. I'll give you a call and we'll chat. I'm not going to sell you anything. That's my guarantee. I don't try to sell anyone anything. If you ask me if I have something to sell, I'll tell you. But I'm not going to try to sell you anything. All right, so let's keep going. A1 Steak. Go look it up. The dividend is paid subtracted from the stock price. No, not at all. Because the dividend is a portion of the profits coming directly from the profits of the company. It is true that the stock goes up before the dividend is paid. It is also true that after the dividend is paid, the stock drops down. It doesn't come from the stock price. It comes from the market maker knowing that people are buying the stock just to collect the dividend. So the market maker drops it. But, keep coming up with objections. I'll be more than happy to tell you. But apparently, from what you're saying, you're looking at things your way. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If it works for you, great. But this is the first time you've ever been here. You don't know anything about me. Okay? I have documented trades. Where are we? Right there. Okay? Let's go. Right there. Weekly trades for 2024. Okay, here's all my trades for 2024. It's not what I want to show you, though. I'm all the way down to the bottom. All the way down to the bottom. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All the trades for 2024. There they are, all of them. Okay, what I wanted to show you is at the very bottom. Here we go. Are you ready? Okay, A1 steak. My very first trade that I shared online with you people was August 31st, 2011. That's the first trade I shared online. Now, it was through a blog post. Okay, this is 2013. Come down a little further. Now, I don't have this blog post anymore. It was, what, a couple of decades ago. Okay. Okay. Here's a video that I did back in 2013. Look, the 1-year chart, the 90-day chart, the 30-day chart. Look what it says. Moving sideways all year. Last 90-day channel closes to year's high. Last 30 days still in the channel, looking good for dividend pushes to the upside. Yeah, great. Exact same thing I did in 2013. I'm still doing, was it 12, 13 years later? Okay. You can go to YouTube and see, where the hell am I? Weekly trade. That's not what I wanted to see. Damn it. That's not what I want to see. This is my trades for this year. This is what I want to see. All right. YouTube. Okay. Hold on a second. Wait for it to fill. It takes time. I got to get a new modem that's faster. Okay. 953 videos. It gives you the description right here. 10-minute trader strategy came about when my 9-year-old daughter wanted me to teach her. Okay. Look at the oldest video. Videos right there. The oldest video. All right. Back here. 12 years ago. Mean Little Princess. Same thing. We're doing the same thing.
Hi, I'm JC, and me as you being part of my internet website called
Dividends. Anyway, no, seriously. By picking just one company per month, just one. January, February, March, that's 12. 12.
Okay. You're seeing the exact same thing. And this is like 12 or 13 years ago. All right. When my daughter, I think she was 11 at this time. She asked me to teach her when she was 9. I had to come up with a strategy that was simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. So the strategy I came up with, simple. Never buy something you don't understand. Never sell at a loss. Make sure the company's consistently profitable, at least 20 years of consecutive profitability. Weekly options only, and then make sure the numbers work. That's it. It was created for a 9-year-old. Now, she averaged 5% per month. Okay, she was doing monthlies. I was at this time, we were still doing monthlies. It wasn't until the last 4 or 5 years that we started moving over to weeklies because we understood them better. Okay, you can believe whatever you want to believe. Numbers don't lie. If you take a look at a good stock, one that's been around for 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, okay, one that has consistently been profitable for more than 2 decades, if you look at that, you buy it at the price, whatever it is, as long as it works, as long as the numbers work, and then you sell it for someone the exact same price, you collect that premium. That premium is more than 1%. 1% every single week is more than 50% a year. You don't believe me? Try it yourself. All right, I'm done. It's 12:30. I have an hour past what I'm supposed to do. Can we know how many members you have in your VIP Patreon group and how they are doing? No. That was quick, wasn't it? You asked a question, gave you a direct answer. Tyler, how do you locate the dividend amount of a company and find out how often they pay that dividend? Okay, that's a good question. How about this, Tyler? You ready? You got a pencil and paper handy? Dividend Kings. Okay. I think it's 54 companies that have consistently increased their dividends for 5 decades. That's 50 years. Dividend Kings. Dividend Aristocrats. 67 companies that have increased their dividends for more than 25 years. Dividend Champions. 150 companies that have increased their dividends for more than 25 years. And then you get the Dividend Contenders. 300 companies that have increased their dividends from 10 years to 24 years. And then for the fun of it, we're going to throw in Warren Buffett's list just because he's a nice guy. Now, those 5 lists right there will give you over 300 companies that have consistently been profitable for more than 20 consecutive years. Philip, the stock market is a device to transfer money From the impatient to the patient. Love that quote from Warren Buffett. You're absolutely right. Jay Smith, mind playing some King Vom? I have no idea what that is. Sorry. All right, so I'm done. You guys have a great night, and I will see some of you guys tomorrow. For whoever's in my trading group, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Out of here on Instagram, you guys have a great day. Out of here on Facebook, you guys have a great day. Okay, TikTok 1, you are done. Have a nice night, everyone. We'll see you again tomorrow. Out of here, you guys have a great night. We'll be back live on Sunday night. I take Friday nights and Saturday nights off now. Guys, have a great day. You're welcome. You're welcome. 18,000 people. Holy cow. All right. YouTube, you guys have a great night. And we'll see you again tomorrow.